Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome to day 2 of the Royal Influencers Organization, Wealth, Health, and Thrive. Day 1 was absolutely phenomenal. All of the speakers over delivered as I knew they would. All of the stories, all of the transformations that people have gotten with health issues that they've overcome, such as my great friend Carolyn Bell, that was my regional director when I was a regional manager, and she opened her actual studio, Pilates studio, in Fort Myers, Florida. 6 months later, had a health issue where she ended up having back fusion, spinal fusion surgery. 6 months after she opened her shop, and now here she is, have come back, overcame it. I definitely supported her through it. She spoke about that actually yesterday as well. And now here she is, have tripled her income after the doctors told her that she would more than likely be out of commission for 18 months. I definitely just wanted to share that because that was just one of the powerful testimonials that directly connected and related to the topic of our session this week. So with that said, I definitely want to welcome and introduce to you another great friend, great phenomenal entrepreneur as well. Megan DiMartino is in the house again, helping me open.
Hello,
How are you?
I am so good, and I'm so excited because, as you said, this is my topic: health,
Absolutely.
beauty, wellness. My topic, Ramona. So
Absolutely.
when I saw that this was your topic for this Royal Influencers, it was like yippee ki yay, as
There
they
you
say
go.
here in Texas. So yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is exactly why, as you know, you haven't missed any of our events. You've always shown up and over delivered as well. And so many people always talk about some of the nuggets that they take away, like Carolyn Bell. That's one of the reasons I mentioned her, because you have inspired her through your story as well. You are so transparent, for one, when you talk about your challenges and ups and downs and things of that nature early on in your business. And now here you are still thriving. So that's the other part of the topic and the title that I know that you really encompass is the thriving. Here you are, have exited a few businesses, and you never ever stop building and growing and elevating and escalating. So you are a prime example of exactly what it looks like to thrive. And that is one of the reasons why I am so glad that you're here today. So tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Well, as you just said, I'm a New York girl, deep in the heart of Texas, with a serving, mentoring, creative spirit.
Yes.
And I have started, scaled, and sustained, and then sold 3 7-figure businesses
Ah,
over the last
amazing.
35 years.
Amazing.
So
Wow.
it's, you talk about that sustainability and thriving, continuing on. It really is just a mindset. It's what you do, and you've made that decision to do it. So it is part of me. And basically, as I shared a minute ago, I've been in the beauty wellness space all of this time. Basically, that is
Awesome.
my industry.
So
Yes.
you did some research also with cell regeneration and things of
Yes.
that nature, and
Yes.
you ended up needing knee surgery and used the cell regeneration to rebuild your cartilage and ended up not having, to this day, you have not had, speaking of health, by the way, you have not had
Yeah.
to have that knee surgery.
And not only did I not have it, Ramona and our guests, but I created a whole division for my business
Wow.
surrounding it. So that's really a part of creativity is
Absolutely.
and really trends, because
Uh-huh.
when I had regenerative stem cell in 2018, it was
Right.
really in the dark ages of
Exactly.
stem cells being used in the United States.
Right.
Europe, yes, but in the
Mhm.
United States, not
Exactly.
at all. And
Right.
so it was really the beginning of it. And so I
Absolutely.
had at the time a medical spa
Mhm.
where we were doing medical aesthetics, but not anything of that nature. And
Right.
so I just looked into it to see if I could do it, bring it to our business,
Okay.
my business, and was able to, and we've been doing it ever since. So that was 2019 when we
Wow.
started. I personally had regenerative stem cell in my left knee in
Wow.
2018, and so it has continued on. And we have done over 500 patients since
Wow.
then, and have really transformed people's lives. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and then now I represent a company called LifeWave, which is an amazing company with
Mhm.
profound science, and double-blind studies and patents and so forth,
Wow.
as in the same arena,
Uh-huh.
and continuing it on. So one of the things that to me is, and I'm sure you'll pop off for a minute, but the thing, Ramon, I want to share with our guests, and you were talking about your colleague,
Mhm.
is that we, the consumer, and we're all consumers,
Right.
recognize that we have to be our own health advocate.
Absolutely.
It really is imperative because we cannot sit back and just assume that medication, which people are
Absolutely.
on too many
Absolutely.
different medications, which create contraindication for them all, that we
Exactly.
have to be our own health advocate. So that's one of the things at this point in my career that I
Mhm.
feel very passionate about, is to help people navigate through their own health and wellness
Absolutely.
challenges, but also find solutions.
Absolutely. So you actually represent both parts of the title. The wealth part, having exited three seven-figure businesses before over the 35 years that you've been an entrepreneur, and then the health side. Because you also in your skincare and cosmetic side of your business, you also was one of the first pioneers of a very popular ingredient
Mhm.
in which I love, by the way, because you and I have a lot in common. By the way, I'm a cosmetologist over 30 years now. I graduated high school and cosmetology in the same year. So, and my mom was as well highly successful. You've interviewed me. You already know my background, but my mom was a highly successful entrepreneur for 30 years. My grandfather for 50 years. So, entrepreneurship and business has been in my blood. I have two business degrees as well. And you have always been an entrepreneur as well, and you have been very successful at it. So the thriving part of the title and the event today as well is definitely something that you are the epitome of. And now let's talk a little bit about the health part of the LifeWave company that you talked about. What are some of the main benefits of the LifeWave patches? I'm seeing them everywhere. Every time I go to YouTube, I see somebody else talking
Right.
about these LifeWave patches.
Well, the reason you do and will continue to
Mhm.
is, and I'll just give you a very brief tutorial here,
Okay.
okay, for you and your guests,
Okay.
is that what I had in my left knee, and that we do in the clinic, is
Mhm.
perinatal. That means from birth product.
Mm.
So, meaning after the baby is born for a scheduled C-section, the birth product is taken and is then
Wow.
shipped in a cryo chamber to a.
Your sound just went out again, Megan. I don't know. Your sound just went out again. We lost you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We
Perinatal.
lost you. Oh, there you go.
Yes.
You're back.
Uh-oh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you just
So
paused.
but that is perinatal, it's called. I
Okay.
mean, from birth product.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
But what the LifeWave Corporation has done, David Schmidt, this profound scientist, inventor, is basically harnessed our own light energy in our bodies.
Ooh.
Because we do have stem cells in our bodies, we
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
at 30, 50% of these stem cells, which are in our adipose fat and our bone marrow, are
Okay.
dormant. At
Wow.
60, 90% are dormant. So
Wow.
meaning that they're doing nothing, but
Absolutely.
they're there.
Okay.
And so basically what he has harnessed, and
Mhm.
that's why you're going to see it proliferate, because everyone has stem cells. It's
Right.
not this one does and this one doesn't,
Exactly.
everyone does. Okay.
Wow.
And
Mhm.
so the challenge though is that they are dormant.
Right.
So what this X39, I have it here on my hand to show
Okay.
you,
Okay.
but basically, generally put it on the top of your spine, the base of your spine, or
Okay.
below your belly button, because
Okay.
those are the energy trigger points of your body.
Awesome. Okay.
But these basically um, the compound that is on the center area here.
Okay.
And so there's no pill, you're not taking any medication. It's
Wow.
what it's doing is it's activating your own light energy in your body, going to your brain, creating copper CHKCU copper peptides,
Mhm.
which then go to your own stem cells and
Wow.
activate them. Yes. And
Awesome.
so without any contraindication,
Okay.
I mean, there's no anything you're ingesting or taking or so
Right.
forth. It's your own body creating this.
Yeah.
God created our bodies not to have the challenges we have today.
Exactly. Exactly.
Not
I
just not.
also just saw an article that said, I forget what they titled it, but it generally talked about how whenever you get sick and the doctors are programmed technically to provide you a solution to whatever your ailment is, that prescription that they give you is
Mhm.
really just going to be another. What's going to happen is you're going to need another prescription from the first prescription that you're given,
Right.
and then from that next prescription, the second one, you're going to now need another one to combat the side effects that one's going to create. And I
Well,
thought, wow, that is
yes,
really interesting.
it's not only interesting, it's dangerous.
Absolutely.
It's dangerous
Absolutely.
because the other thing, what you just said, is
Mhm.
that we've all heard the term and we've not really focused on what that really is saying.
Right.
But the physician is practicing medicine. Ah, practicing. I don't
There you
want
go.
anyone practicing on me.
That's precisely what the article talked about. That
Yeah,
they have no idea. They are guessing
that's right.
as to which prescription will actually be the better solution. So they just test different
Right.
prescriptions. And
Yes.
what happens is each prescription that they give you causes other side effects that they have to give you another prescription to combat.
Exactly. And so to
Incredible.
that point,
Hmm.
I do a lot of consults with individuals who are exactly what you just shared, have
Ah,
come to the end of their rope saying, I don't know what to do. And
exactly.
but the challenge is they're going to an orthopedic here and they're going to an internist there and they're
Exactly.
going to a cardiologist there. And so they're on all of these
Right.
medications,
Right.
and those physicians are not in consort or speaking
Right.
to each other and planning or
Exactly.
looking at the person as a whole, a holistic being. And
Right.
so that's what happens with what you just said. And so what's my biggest challenge,
Hmm.
honestly,
Hmm.
has been to help people understand that they can come off these things. I will never tell them to come off anything,
Right. Right. Absolutely.
but meaning as their body starts to function
Right.
properly,
Okay.
then they will start, just a point in hand. A colleague of mine in LifeWave
Hmm.
was dealing with perimenopausal, but
Okay.
also had been in having a thyroid condition for.
Okay. Your sound just cut out again. Your sound just cut out again, Megan, if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Your sound just went out.
It was just
You're back now. You're back now. It just
just
popped back in.
okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of these storms, Ramona, is speaking.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
But anyway, this gal was not feeling. She wasn't feeling ill. She just
Okay.
felt off. So she
Okay.
went to her thyroid, her physician,
Mhm.
her internist who had prescribed the Synthroid,
Mhm.
and he did a blood panel and said, "Why are you doubling up on your medication?"
Ah.
She said, "I'm not." And it was the X39 that was regulating her thyroid.
Oh
She's
my
now
goodness.
off of all medication. Yes.
Wow.
So
That is awesome.
that is why you're going to see, because as people, that the information, like you said, on social
Right.
media,
Right.
because as people um, have these uh, transformations, let's call it,
Exactly.
or these experiences,
Right.
then they will share because it's from anything from orthopedic
Right.
dynamics,
Right.
in osteoarthritis to
Okay.
inflammation to autoimmune to plantar fasciitis to neuropathies to early
Right.
stages of
Right.
dementia. Yes, yes,
Wow.
yes. So
Awesome.
so therefore, yeah, that I'm very excited about this, Ramona, because as
I
you
can
know, because
tell.
yes, you know me well, on
Absolutely.
so many levels. We've done business together,
Absolutely.
um,
Absolutely.
and when my heart from the very beginning,
Mhm.
and this has been other subsequent royal influencers, but
Right.
to help individuals start, scale, and sustain the business
Absolutely.
and life of their dreams, it starts with a vision. It starts with seeing it, you know.
Absolutely.
And my vision of all of this, and that was what my TED Talk was about that I did in
Right.
October, was
Right.
transforming the human experience through creative disruption. Well, that's a pretty lofty title.
Absolutely.
And it started with a young gal in Bloomingdale's working for a cosmetic company.
Okay.
But cosmetics, color cosmetics, were
Right.
changing. And I bring this back to the stem cell,
Right.
meaning because a smoky eye and dark lips and dark nail polish, well,
Right.
that was very transformative. It was very
Yes,
different.
it was.
It was.
Deeply.
And so, you have to look at what the individual needs and wants
Exactly.
and give it
Absolutely.
to them, so to speak. So, like you mentioned, I launched Glycolique in '92,
Okay.
and that was based on glycolic acid from the
Exactly.
alpha hydroxy fruit acid family. And
Absolutely.
why did I do that? I did that because, um, again, skincare at that time was just very emollient-y, very
Right.
European-y, not
Right.
result oriented. But I knew what I was looking for. I
Mhm.
was working, yes, for a pharmaceutical company in Fort
Right.
Worth, Texas. That's what
Right.
brought me to Texas, but
Exactly.
from New York. But I knew as I knew, because
Mhm.
back in the day when I was working for Biba
Okay.
with Bloomingdale's, I knew someday I was going to create something. Okay.
Absolutely.
Didn't
Right.
know what it was, had no idea. But I was at that point committed to creating something. So I kept my eyes and ears open to what the industry, because I'm in the beauty industry.
Exactly.
Okay. And
Mhm.
so therefore spa didn't exist. Didn't. You know that,
Right.
Ramona.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, it didn't exist.
Right.
And cosmetologists really were not doing skincare at all.
Right.
And there were no spas as well as
Exactly.
estheticians, right?
Right.
So I was positioned to
Mhm.
see, again, see vision, what was needed. But again,
Right.
I knew what I needed. And
Exactly.
so, but I was in the middle of this very sophisticated company and was able
Awesome.
to work with these chemists. So I've been very
Amazing.
blessed to
Yes,
be
you have.
able to be in the middle of things
Right.
to then, but respond, because that's the other piece. You have to see
Exactly.
it, you have to believe it, and then you have to
Absolutely.
take action.
Absolutely. There you go. That's the thriving part, right? That's how you get to the thriving area as
Well,
well.
let me just add this to you.
Okay.
I looked up the definition of thrive. It's a verb.
Okay.
It's an
Okay.
action word.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Number one, to grow vigorously. Ooh, vigorously.
Absolutely.
Flourish, then it said. Number
Okay.
two, to gain wealth. Huh. Or
Absolutely.
possessions. Prosper.
There you go.
Prosper. And number three, to progress towards, love that, because you're working towards, you're
Exactly.
evolving,
Exactly.
or
Yep.
realize a goal despite or because of circumstances.
Awesome. That's it. That is exactly what we're here for. That's
Yeah.
exactly what we've been doing for the last 2 days. That's it. That is it essentially. So thank you for that definition. And we have our next speaker here as well. Thank you so much for always showing up, and let
Thank
your
you.
friend know it's a pleasure meeting him as well. You can pop him on the camera again just so that I can say goodbye and
Okay,
tell him
this is
thank you and
Francis Leger.
nice meeting you.
Bye bye. Pleasure meeting
Okay,
you. Take care.
likewise. So with that said, thank you, and thank you
Thank you,
again. So
Ramona.
guess what, Megan? Those meetings that I have been inviting you to, but you're so busy doing facials and all kinds of things and running your company. But the gentleman from Baz, back at zero, is here. Brandon Thompson is here waiting. He's the very next speaker,
Wonderful.
and we're getting ready to bring him up. I'm going to bring him up while you're here, like I always do,
Love it. Yes, thank you.
and introduce you to him because you're going to be at one of those meetings next week as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes,
Brandon
sir.
Thompson, welcome to the Royal Influencer stage.
Hello
How
And
y'all
there.
doing? How's it going,
Thank
Ramona?
you.
Thanks for
absolutely. This is Megan DiMartino, and you just heard a little bit. You popped in a little bit earlier just as she got started, and you just heard a little bit of her journey and story. But this is back. He is the CEO and founder of Back at Zero, which is really a nonprofit that started in 2021. And now he has added, it's a financial literacy company, or not company, sorry, community nonprofit. And he now has added this extra leg, a new leg to it just last year in 2024. It's a beautiful community, very supportive community where we are teaching people how to trade. Back at Zero teaches people how to trade in the foreign exchange market. There's free courses, free trade ideas. There is free education, live trading sessions with educators, and all of the likes. So you are definitely welcome to come and take a look. And I already know, I wouldn't bring you to anything that's not going to.
Well, I indicated I want to, and Brandon, I will be, because I need to learn and grow. We all do. It's sort of like X39 with stem cells.
Exactly.
It's incumbent upon you to help us. Yes, that's fabulous.
Absolutely.
Well, have a blessed time. Thank you so much, Ramona.
Quite welcome. Just
Okay.
wanted you to meet him in person.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
very,
you'll see him next week though on the meetings.
Absolutely.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, Megan. All right. So Brandon Thompson is here with the Royal Influencers Organization. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're streaming, by the way, live on Facebook. People are watching live, and on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So I'm building my YouTube. That's probably where we won't have as many people, but there are definitely people on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We are definitely, hey, Bella. Bella just popped in and said Grand Rising, and she is going to be speaking right after you as well. With she actually works for the mayor's office for years right here. She's worked for several mayors right here in Atlanta. So she'll be speaking right after you are done. So with that said, Brandon, I absolutely love what you are doing. I love Baz back at Zero. I am having the time of my life. I have made the most money trading with Baz, just to let you know. I don't think I've ever said that, but I'm saying it now in front of God and everybody. I have made the most money I have ever made trading. And I started trading, believe it or not. I joined another company that you were with as well back in December of 2019. It was a gift, my Christmas gift to myself. I had decided at that point to leave corporate America. I was done over 20 something years. In fact, my regional director that I work with another company, franchise chain, Carolyn Bell, was here yesterday telling her story of how we work together. And I've been helping her through her business now. But she's also in Baz as well and getting ready to, she just said yesterday, I really need to start getting a little bit more. She had a couple of interviews. She has been featured in Lifestyle Magazine and had a photo shoot and an interview. So she's been really busy. But now that everything's slowing down a little bit, she said, I am coming in to do those courses and I'm getting ready to start trading. So I'm bringing them. Bella is another one that was invited to a call just last week as well. So I am definitely bringing them. Another young lady that was listening and watching said, I'm in. I mentioned Baz yesterday. She said, I'm in. So I gave her the information as well. And Christina, can you put the link up as well to Baz? Thank you. So with that said, you'll see the link pop up and then people will come in and make comments in the chat and I'll be throwing them up on the screen. But what actually started, what had you start Baz? What was the real reason that you started Baz? I'm talking what you started in 2021, and then how did what you started last year, 2024, with trading start?
Okay, great question. So 2021, I honestly started the foundation because of just really trying to get some tax credits. I'm gonna just be completely honest.
Okay.
How can I was making some good money and I was, my CPA was like, you should start a foundation. And I was like, okay, cool. And then she's like, you can give away scholarships, and then that can go towards write-offs, on your taxes. And I said, oh, okay, cool. I was like, so I wasn't just doing it just for the tax reasons. But once I did get in it, I was like, okay, cool. Well, now I got a foundation. I can give away scholarships. Now let me be more intentional about it, right? Because I'm like, okay, scholarships. Well, who's going to get these scholarships? So, I decided to focus on HBCUs in STEM programs. So I graduated from an HBCU. I got my degree in engineering. So I just wanted to be intentional about who I would actually give those monies to. So, I seen the impact that it made on the students. And, once I kind of transcended that time period of giving the scholarships away, a couple years passed. And I was like, you know what? I want to take this to the next level. So I then added on a program called Shake the Bank Financial Literacy Curriculum and Workshop.
Okay.
And
Okay.
start getting opportunities to go into middle schools and high schools in the Houston area and
Wow.
literally teach kids about financial literacy, the career path they wanted, the desired lifestyle based on the career
Amazing.
choice of their liking,
Okay.
saving, budgeting, and just really having that transparent conversation that usually doesn't happen when you're in middle school and high school, and you kind of have to
Exactly.
figure it out once you get into the real world. So had a
Absolutely.
lot of insightful conversations within, that demographic of 11 to 17-year-olds. And then I said, man, this is really something that is groundbreaking. And I said, you know what? I
Right.
want to take it to another level. Like, we're not stopping. It's always another level. First is scholarship.
Absolutely.
Then it's workshops for the youth. Now I was like, okay, I want to make sure that this foundation has programs that touches the entire world.
Wow.
And for me, trading was a very, very pivotal part of my life and played the catalyst in so many other doors opening for me and
Exactly.
opportunities being exposed to me and my family. So I said, you know what? I want Forex and trading in general to be the mutual meeting ground for people all across the world that want to become
Wow.
financially literate. You got to start somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
Talking
Absolutely.
about financial literacy, there's all
Right.
types of things. There's insurance, there's real estate, there's credit. So I was
Absolutely.
like, what makes the most sense? And I think trading makes the most sense for people to start at because it's
Absolutely.
practical and you can start making money like immediately. You have the
Exactly.
right system, right?
Exactly.
And so for me, I said, you know what? I want to create a platform for
Mhm.
trading
Mhm.
that lowers the barrier of entry. Because really, to be completely honest, Ramona, what
Mhm.
I'm and back at Zero participants are focused on
Right.
is
Right.
serving the marginalized, the underserved, the overlooked, right?
Absolutely.
And the
Absolutely.
underpaid. Those are
Right.
the communities that I want to service. So,
Exactly.
I said, let's make this completely free. Let's not
There
charge
you go.
anybody anything.
Wow.
And a lot of people they're skeptical, like, why is it free? Well, it's like, what? Well,
Exactly.
I'm already giving away money to college students. Like, I'm a
Exactly.
philanthropist. So it's like it's no catch, it's no gimmicks. It's
Right.
like
Right.
really like you can come in for free, you can trade your
Absolutely.
own money. We
There you
don't
go.
actually any upfront, any subscription. And
Exactly.
the catch, I would say the catch is
Mhm.
if you don't catch it.
There you
That's
go.
the catch.
That's the
If
catch.
you drop it, then that's the catch. You didn't catch it.
Exactly.
You catch. So
Exactly.
that's how it started. Started off with, just kind of trying to get some tax credits and figure out how
Right.
to, pay less on taxes. Then,
Exactly.
scholarships came, then the workshops, and now we have a full-fledged trading platform. So I'm super excited for
Amazing.
what the foundation is evolving into.
Awesome. Now, how many people approximately do you have in the program now, on the platform now, in the
So
community?
on the platform, we're approaching about 2,500 people right now.
Wow. And that's just since last year.
That's just since last year. So,
Amazing.
people always ask me, well, Brent, I thought you impacted hundreds of thousands of people.
I've watched
Absolutely
you do that.
have.
I've actually watched you do that.
Absolutely have. But here's my thing. This is what I love back at Zero. I really embody it. Yes, in
Right.
my last platform, the last company you remember me from, hundreds
Right.
of thousands, maybe even millions of people that were
I think
impacted
you hit
directly or
I think you
indirectly.
hit you hit Chairman
Yep,
250 in that platform,
yep,
right? Which was
yep.
tell everybody what that meant. Chairman 250. None of
I
these
was
people really
making
understand that.
over a $250,000 a month at that time. And
$250,000 every
yeah, I
month.
definitely was. Yeah.
Wow.
To God be the glory for sure.
Wow.
But that was all through Forex and
Wow.
galvanizing community around trading. So I absolutely impacted over hundreds of thousands of people globally, but that
Incredible.
wasn't my platform. Even though it was
Wow.
my community, it wasn't my platform. Back at
Exactly.
Zero is my platform.
It's
So I'm
your platform. Now you
2,500
own it. There you go.
2,500 through my platform. Oh,
There you
I've
go.
touched thousands of lives. But if we're going to be
Exactly.
technical, through my platform, 2,500, we're starting fresh, we're restarting, we're redefining, and we're recreating what success means to us through this platform.
Absolutely. Redefining, restarting, and recreating. I absolutely love it. So, with that said, let me just say this. is that even the people that you are creating, in the platform that you're creating, the people that you are attracting, I should say, in the platform that you have created, they are all eager. They come in not wanting to make waves or cause issues or problems. You don't even hear anybody complaining. You might see a couple of people ask a question for some information that they need. And trust me, the information is there, and they probably just being a little overwhelmed, just like anything. Anytime you're learning something new, maybe a little overwhelmed, and you can only remember 15% of what you're told anyway, because you might get distracted while somebody's explaining something or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I have been here in your platform since last year, because I actually saw a link that I sent out on December 24th. I was just going through my back channel and saw that I sent a link out to a friend on December 24th last year. And I can say that it has been consistent. The leadership has been consistent. They're very supportive, very helpful. They are very informative, and they don't hold back any information. If people get on those live trading sessions, people ask questions in the chat, they give the information and might even demonstrate it as well. And they encourage people to ask questions. There's people of all age ranges. I see a lot of people that I was on another team in that company, and I see a lot of them here as well. So that was the catalyst for me. When I came and I saw some of the same faces, I said, okay, well, I'm in the right place. I'm definitely in the right place. And just to let you know, my children, my son, I have four, my two older kids who are young adults, and then my two younger ones who are teenagers now, 19 and 16 are the younger ones. They all trade. And every time that I was on those calls back then, I would make sure that I put the volume on high. I invited them around the computer to let them listen. And now my older daughter had a kid, and he's 6 now, but he was 3 back then.
Wow.
And I have a little video that she sent me of him watching her trade. And he's sitting there going, go up, go up. And when it went down, he dropped his head and everybody started laughing. But that is, and then I have another family, Christina Johnson, that I brought into that business as well. And I'm reaching out to her to bring her and her 8 kids. She has 8 kids. And she said, I've been hearing you talk about this trading thing, and I want you to get my husband and I on a presentation, because we're looking for something to teach our kids. Every single summer, they focus their kids' attention on something, to learn something that summer, and they experienced homelessness. She was a teacher, ended up getting sick, had to have emergency surgery. Her husband was a business owner, a trucker, and they ended up homeless because she had a setback with her recovery. And it exceeded what her insurance would cover, and they ended up homeless. She said, so now I focus on something that my kids can learn so that they never have to experience what I did. And so that if they don't have insurance for whatever reason, and something happens like that to them, they can now create their own economy and always have a means of income or something that they can bring in, or a means of building their income or wealth. So I loved what she did, and they actually she got them trained, and I explained, answered some questions and explained it to her, and she explained it to them. And those children, because it was like a game to them, right? That's all they do all day is stay on games. They made $2,500 in 8 minutes.
Wow.
True story. And she sent it to me, and I couldn't believe it. So I was like, oh my God. So yeah, true story though. True story.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. So I'm getting her to this platform, to back at Zero Bass as well. Absolutely. With her children.
I'm excited for the growth and, new faces and new stories and testimonies to come.
Absolutely.
That's the greatest part about it, just hearing the stories and the success that people find when it actually clicks for them.
Absolutely. So I'm going to get out of your way and let you kind of break down a little bit of that presentation that you give about Back at Zero, if you like. Okay. You don't have to have slides or anything like that. But if you have a presentation, do you have a presentation? Did you bring it or anything? If you don't have it, don't worry.
I have a presentation.
If you want to share it, you can. But all you have to do, you see you're not down there right now, but yes. Backstage, there's a present button. You might see it. It might say present at the bottom of your screen. And when you click that, you can actually go to a website or a PDF or anything that you might have, if you choose. But if you don't, I'm gonna go back down and let you just do a portion of the presentation. You can just do it verbally as well. I'm a little hoarse, so I'm gonna go back and drink some water so I can preserve some of my voice today. So Did you want to do the presentation?
Yeah, I'm uploading it now. I'm saying it's
Oh, there
it's
you go.
upload.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see how this works.
Okay.
Um,
No
just I
problem.
know like people like visuals.
Yeah, no problem at
As
all.
well.
Absolutely. I see. Oh, that's Bella. Bella's coming in from YouTube. And she is in the backstage right now. But that's for 15 minutes. You have a good 15 more minutes.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, cool. Okay, perfect.
All right. Awesome. So I'm going to go back down and let you do a quick presentation for everybody.
All right, thanks, Ramona. Okay, so welcome everybody to this virtual experience. Once again, I just want to give my gratitude to Ramona Rogers for giving me this opportunity to, use her platform to, tell my story, but also give economic opportunity for those that are looking for it. So we kind of already touched on Back at Zero and what it is. I really just want to start from the pillars, what we stand upon. It's three pillars: restart, redefine, and recreate. And we tell people that no matter where you are in life, you can come into Back at Zero, restart, redefine, and recreate yourself. I know when people see zero, they think, oh, it's empty, it's nothing. But honestly, guys, Back at Zero is the foundation that we build from to create the success we want to see in our lives. And so I just pray that at the end of this presentation, that your relationship with zero will be completely different. So let's jump right into it. So Back at Zero Foundation was founded by yours truly in 2021 as a nonprofit organization to educate and mentor individuals in STEM, music, and financial literacy through entrepreneurship. The Back at Zero trading community began just last year to service the entire world with free Forex education. So people always ask me, well, why Forex, Brandon? And I kind of touched on this when I was talking to Ramona, but guys, like Forex was the Pandora's box for me. It opened up so many other things, AI, blockchain, NFTs, all the cryptocurrencies, Web3, metaverse, all these different digital assets and digital platforms that are now prominent today and are hot topics. And it's no longer the future. We're in the present and we're implementing these things. And I believe that it's more crucial than ever to actually educate our people that are marginalized, underserved, underlooked, even underpaid and undereducated, and put them in a position where they can now get the right information and hold them accountable through the community of trading within the foreign exchange market. Now, what is Forex exactly, right? A lot of times people get misled and misinformed about what it is. They say, oh, Forex is a pyramid scheme. Forex is a sales team. Forex is this, is that. Forex is the largest financial market in the world. Forex is short for foreign exchange, right? This market generates $7.3 trillion a day. It is the largest financial market in the world, right? And you're exchanging currency without owning any physical money. And you're doing this straight from any smart device that you have. Guys, the beautiful part about this is it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. Now, on this presentation, you see 24/5. But since cryptocurrency has now come into the market, now we can trade on the weekends, which makes it a market that never sleeps. That's super exciting. Now, let's touch a little bit more about the currency exchange, right? The foreign exchange market, right? So we're exchanging currency, right? One currency for another. So right here on the screen, you see an example, the euro to the US dollar. Whatever is on the left side is your base currency, which is the stronger currency of the two. And then whatever is on the right is the quote currency, which is the weaker of the two, right? So you have euro to the US dollar, meaning 1 euro equals, in this example, $1.35, 361, right? It goes down to sometimes the fourth or fifth decimal place is very specific. But in that fluctuation, even if that 1.35361 went to 1.35371, even in that small fluctuation, we don't see it on the outside, but on the back end, that small fluctuation, right? Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars is made on that movement. And so all we're doing in the foreign exchange market is making money on the fluctuation of different exchange rates. Euro USD is just one, but there's several other currency pairs that you can trade. There's a Great British Pound to the US dollar. There's the US dollar to the Canadian dollar. There's a Great British Pound to the Japanese yen. You can trade gold, silver, oil. You can trade stocks. You can trade crypto. There's so many different asset classes that you can trade within the foreign exchange market. The only thing you have to do is be on the right side of the money. And that's exactly what we teach. We teach people how to make money on their phones by just pressing either buy or sell. The market is either going to go one or two ways, up or it's going to go down. And so we buy low, we sell high. That is the fundamentals of sales, right? Buy low, sell high. So we teach people how to find those low areas of the market so they can buy before it rises. And we also teach how to find those high points in the market so we can sell as it descends and be profitable as well. And all this is done from an app on your phone. All you have to do is plug in and get the information. Now, guys, just because you're buying low, selling high, it might sound simple, and it is. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's simple in the fact that if you follow directions, you can be successful, right? And we do it with a 3-step process to ensure your success if you actually take it seriously, right? The first step is getting educated, hopping into the education, understanding the basics, and then moving on to Forex mastery, where you learn the advanced concepts of how to identify trades on your own. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. You go through it, it's about 3 hours worth of educational content. When you're done, you will leave feeling empowered and confident. Will you be an expert? Probably not. Will you be a master trader? I doubt it. But you will have the confidence to build from there and continue to learn and sharpen your skill set. Then we couple that with live sessions. We have over 15 different educators that have different styles, different walks of life. Some are even in different countries, but they all have been vetted and qualified to teach you the skill set. And they go live Sunday to Sunday, right? For New York session in the morning, they'll go live at London session late in the nighttime. There even are calls that are just based on educating you on just how to onboard, how to use the platform, how to take a trade, how to use proper risk management, right? Psychology, how to maximize your profit. There's so many different calls, but you have an ecosystem of calls for you to either earn, learn, or do both. And then the last thing we provide, and I don't even like saying last thing because I feel like we have endless value in our community, but the last of 3 is the signals, right? Or trade ideas or BAS ideas is what we're calling them now, right? These are trades that have been deemed profitable by the educators that are sent out. It's not financial advice. This is them saying, hey, this is what I see. I believe this move is going to happen. Here are the parameters. You can copy and paste these numbers to get in the same trade I'm getting and make money. So it's okay to be a copycat as long as you're copying the right cat. Understand this, guys. In 2025, if you have a smartphone, and it's not making you any money, then you do not have a smartphone. You have a dumb phone. You have to ask yourself in 2025, am I paying my cell phone bill or is my cell phone paying my bills? Now, look, men lie, women lie, numbers do not. These are real results. We're back at zero, right? This is some of the analytics of one of the months that we were trading and sending out the signals to the community. Guys, the red box is the loss, the green box is a win, and the numbers are the percentage either gained or lost. In the midst of losses in this month, we still almost did 31% in profitability. Now, how you might say, do you still become profitable even if you're losing? Well, it's called risk management, proper risk management, a risk to reward, right? So if we're risking $1, we want to be rewarded 3 if we're correct. If we're risking $2, we want to be rewarded 6. So we always like to do a 1 to 3 risk to reward. So for every dollar we're risking, we want to potentially be able to make 3, right? And so even in the midst of losses, if you lose 1, 2, 3, 4 times in a row, even that 5th time, you can make up for your losses and still be profitable if you're using proper risk management. Now, what could that look like if you were to just copy and paste all the signals and live sessions that were called out in the community, right? If you were willing to risk $10, if you had the capital in your account to risk $10 on every single trade that was called out that month, you'd have made $300. If you were willing to risk $100 on the capital you had in your account, on every trade that was called out that month, you'd have made 3,000. And sometimes I don't even like saying this last one because people think it's so far-fetched. If you had the capital in your account and you were willing to risk $1,000 on every single trade that was called out this month, you would have made $30,000 that month. That's somebody's yearly salary, and you would have made that just from copying and pasting and pressing buttons on your cell phone. Very, very powerful. But I'm not here to sell anybody. I'm here to tell you that this is what's possible. But even if you didn't take all these trades, because we know people aren't going to even be able to take all these trades. You're going to be at work. You're going to be taking care of your kids. You're going to be asleep. Your phone might die. Your phone might have bad reception, and you don't even get the signal to your phone, right? Because we send these out in the push notification through that. But what if you even took 20%, 25% of the trades that were called out, use proper risk management, guys, you would still be in a profitable situation. Now, I'm here to tell you so that we're clear what BAZ is and what BAZ is not. BAZ is free trading courses, free live sessions, free signals, and a free affiliate program. I'm not going to get into the affiliate program because I just want to focus on the trading part. But if you are interested and once you do join, we have calls Monday and Wednesday that goes over how you can actually make money by pushing people to this free platform. What BAZ is not, it's not network marketing. There's no pay to join. There's no paid Telegram. There's no monthly fees or upfront fees. This is completely free. Now, I'll go into this last slide and then I'll go ahead and wrap it up. And then Ramona can come back and we can, have a little back and forth dialogue about what we just discussed. But guys, this is probably one of my favorite slides. And this particular information changed my entire life when I came across it just 7 years ago. Really 8 years ago, I'm sorry. And it's a guy by the name of Robert Kiyosaki. And he talks about the cash flow quadrant. And a cash flow quadrant is essentially showing the 4 main ways that money is made in the entire world, right? You have 4 different quadrants, but really you just have a left and a right side, right? And that left side is made up of employees and self-employed individuals. They make up 95% of the entire world, not the United States, not Texas, not Georgia, not New York, the entire world. 95% of the world are self-employed individuals or they are employees, right? And they split 5% of the world's wealth. Right. And then on the right side, you have 5% of where the world sits, but they split 95% of the world's wealth. So think about it. 5% of the world are business owners and investors. So you got to ask yourself, what side do you currently sit on and what side do you want to be on? A lot of times, guys, and this is why Back at Zero is so important, not just from a trading aspect, but once again, we teach financial literacy as well. And we give economic opportunity to the marginalized, the underserved, the overlooked, the underpaid, the undereducated, right? We give opportunity in mentorship and resources and information to people to help them understand that, look, you don't have to just stay at that dead end job. You don't have to just solely focus on one thing. You can diversify yourself and you should diversify yourself. A lot of people say, well, hey, I'm not a business owner. Look, I get everybody doesn't have to be a business owner or entrepreneur, but you must be an investor, right? You don't have to own a business, but you must be an investor. And they're closely tied together. But let's talk about this, guys, because a lot of people see, oh, well, Brandon, I see I work a job. I work a 9 to 5. Are you saying that's not something I should do? No, absolutely. I've worked several jobs, right? I've worked in corporate America at the highest level, making 6 figures. And I said it wasn't enough, right? Now, that doesn't have to be your story, but at least let me help you navigate to a stronger part of the quadrant so you can have more options for not only you, but your family and the people that's going to come after you once you leave this earth. Understand, guys, that if you are an employee, you are exchanging time and effort for money, right? There's only a limited amount of time in the day, so your income is limited. But think about this, guys. You make a wage. With that wage you make at your job, you go take that money and go learn a skill. Go learn about real estate. Go learn about credit. Go learn about insurance, right? Go find a skill. Learn how to cut hair. Learn how to tattoo. Learn how to lay concrete. Something. Find a skill set outside of your job. And what that skill set will allow you to do is service a customer base to make extra money, right? You learn how to cut hair. Cool. Now you can cut hair on the weekends when you're not working. You learn how to tattoo. Now you can tattoo on the weekends when you're not working. You learn how to, you get your real estate license. Now you can show homes during the week when you get off and potentially close deals and make additional income. But here's the thing, guys, you're still on that left side. Guys, self-employed people usually mean that they have a skill set and they provide a service, but you are still in a limited income situation, just like the employee, because you don't have a job as a self-employed person. You actually own the job, meaning that, hey, if I don't perform the service or skill, guess what? I don't get paid. Just like if I don't show up to work and put in the hours, I don't get a check. And so what we must do is navigate to the right side by understanding that the only thing we have to do is create a system around a skill set to create a business. And that's what a business owner is. They're people that have systems that work so that they don't have to. So if you are a barber, if you are a hairstylist, you are a tattoo artist, look, if you're a barber, well, you're not a business owner unless you have a barbershop. And then you charge booth rent to other barbers. And if you decide to go on vacation, if you get sick, if you decide you just want to stay home for that day, you still are generating income without being present because you have a system that works so that you don't have to. Now, with that profit from the system, you now can invest that money into real estate, into trucking, into franchise businesses, into other things that can generate you unlimited income potential. And why do I say unlimited? Because when you start letting the money work for you, the money never sleeps. The money never takes a vacation. The money never calls out sick. The money never steals inventory, right? The money works nonstop. It's the best employee you can have. Now, guys, here's the thing. Some people might say, well, Brandon, what skill set do I learn to create a system around? Well, it just so happens that Back at Zero actually helps you learn the skill set that you can build a system around. And that is Forex trading. And you can actually build a business and invite other people and get paid. That gets talked about more when we go into the affiliate program on Mondays and Wednesdays. But family, I just want to go over this quick presentation so you guys can see what it is we're doing, how we're transforming and shifting people's minds so that they no longer think that they have to just be an employee. Cool. You love your job. You're passionate about what you do. Stay there, but go still learn a skill, create a business so that you can invest and have more options for you and your family.
Awesome presentation. As usual, I hear this presentation weekly, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. And guess what? You are welcome to come back every month. I have these events every single month, 2 days.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
Absolutely. So come again, and we will welcome you. And there's so many people out there that I want to help you touch as well, because I know that there's so many looking at the economy and the state of the economy right now. And we talked about something earlier before your presentation, Brandon, where you said that people are asking, well, you built these huge communities before with thousands of people. Well, guess what? That was a whole different era. We were on lockdown. The world was shut down. I remember that distinctly because I joined. Remember, I said I joined in 2019. December was my Christmas gift, right? Well, we weren't in lockdown. In fact, my older daughter and I went to Europe. We went to England for that event, for that company's event in England. That was February 27th, and it was done by March 3rd or 2nd. And we flew back, and flying back is where we saw all of the masks. And we were like, why is everybody wearing masks? But that was because we weren't in the States, and they were talking about shutting down everything, and they made the requirement to wear masks. We didn't know that. And sure enough, I think it was that same week or the very next week, we were in shutdown. And that is how so many people, because everybody was looking for other alternatives to sustain themselves and make money. And that is how so many people became millionaires and multimillionaires in the pandemic. And now, guess what? Same exact thing is getting ready to happen, but now it's just called a recession. Tons of people being laid off from their jobs. Companies are closing. I just saw an article where Macy's are closing stores, and all of these different major corporations are now closing stores, which already tells you that there's a recession in progress. They just haven't officially announced it, but there is definitely a recession in progress. And that is when trading is so lucrative, regardless of what's going on in the economy. That's how you guys were able to flourish and grow and thrive in a pandemic, because trading, you make money going up if the market's going up, as well as if it's going down. Correct. So that's it. And that's exactly why I brought my kids in it. The pandemic taught me I had better prepare my children and give them another tool, another resource to build their own economy so that they don't have to worry about what the actual economy is doing or somebody else telling them what their economy is. So that is something that I think that you are definitely going to be blessed beyond measure for helping all of these people. And now you own it. You're doing it. So I absolutely love that. So thank you, and thank you again.
I appreciate you so much.
Quite welcome. So see you on the next one.
All right, enjoy.
Okay, bye-bye. All right. So with that said, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed that presentation from Brandon Thompson, always doing a phenomenal job. And we have another a phenomenal friend for one, speaker for two, coming up right now. So supportive, always supportive of everything. I think she's supportive of everybody and everything that everybody does. And I have never heard her speak where she did not have the same energy, and her energy is infectious. So you are definitely in for a treat. This is Bella Linda Rigsby right here in Atlanta, by the way. And she also has a nonprofit that she is definitely going to tell you about. And I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to bring her up because hello. Oh my God. I love your hair. How are you? Back at you. I'm trying to preserve my voice today too, by the way. So from talking all day yesterday,
I'm gonna let you do your thing, but I'm coming to you live and direct and natural, okay?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love it. I love it. I was thinking of cutting this off as well because it's a lot of work. It's hot. It's the summer. But what I wanted to do was give you the opportunity to tell everybody, where we met in Breakfast with Champions, right?
Yes, we met 4 years ago, Ramona,
Yes.
and you're not going to believe this. You still are. First of all, hello to the Ramona Royal Influence audience. And let me tell you something. This girl to my left or to my right, depending on what device that you're on, she's got what it takes.
Oh, somebody on LinkedIn said, oh, Bella, just now on LinkedIn.
And Bella gonna tell the God's truth. So help me God. Ramona, listen to me
There
carefully.
it is. You see that? It says look on the screen.
Ramona, I'm gonna talk in the past and the present. Ramona, back then you were the big deal to me. What do I mean? I met you on John Lee's room.
Oh, is that where? Oh, now that you said that, I remember.
Champions, John Lee.
Oh,
and let me tell y'all
now.
something. I'm getting ready, not gas her up. I'm getting ready to give her flowers again because 4 years ago, I was scared. Yeah. But Ramona was consistent. Y'all got to lean in because I'm already going to my presentation. Lean in. Ramona was and still is consistent.
Ramona is phenomenal. Who is this LinkedIn user? Come on over. Come inside.
But Ramona, let me tell you something. I got to give you your flowers before you leave and before I do my presentation.
Oh, thank you.
I met you really in John Lee's room.
I remember that now. Now that you mentioned John Lee's room, I remember now.
And you know why I remember you? Because Ramona, you was the one that let me up on the stage. Nobody will let Bella on the stage.
Look, one thing I did in that room, I know how particular John Lee was, and I know how hard it was to get on the stage anyway. He had rooms back then, 4 years ago, you're talking in the pandemic, right? He had thousands, hundreds of people in some of those rooms. And I remember.
And Ramona, you were the only one, and I have to say, I'm not going to tell a lie. It was you, and then John became my friend. You know I'm talking about John Herrera.
Yes.
We won't go there. We kind of had some words, but Ramona, I just want to say thank you, first of all. But I met you in John Lee's room, not Breakfast with Champions, and I watched you, right? Because lean in for those who don't get on Clubhouse. It's very important to watch people and follow them. And I was following you in all of the right places. So Ramona, before I go any further, you know me.
Thank you.
You are in my atmosphere. I love you like that. I want to thank you publicly in person for allowing me the opportunity because see, people need to understand it's a two-way street, right, Ramona?
Yes, absolutely.
Ramona, thank you for the opportunity once again to come on your beautiful royal platform.
Thank you. And one thing I did in that room is I looked out for people. I invited everybody up. And John Lee used to sometimes look at me like, why are you bringing everybody up? And then he realized, oh, well, wait a second. These are more people that are coming into my world and community and buying my products and services. I'm like, exactly. Because for one, they can use it. They can use your $7, only $7, his $7 community that he had which was, I believe, what was it? I can't even think of the name of it now, but everything was very reasonable. And I said, you know what? They don't even realize what he's offering is something that they can use and that they need. So
But
I
you know
definitely,
what, Ramona? I have one takeaway that John Lee said in my world that messed me up 4 years ago. And
oh,
I'm sure
really?
you know what he said, Ramona? He
What
said,
did he-
what is your relationship with money?
Oh, you know what's funny? He's doing an event right now. It kicked off today or yesterday, and it's talking about money.
Well, every time I think about John Lee, and I'm not by myself, a lot of Breakfast with Champions say the same thing that Bella says. We think about Ramona Rogers, okay?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, a lot of them did tell me that you were one of the only people that were up on that stage as a moderator and bringing us all in and bringing us all up. So I definitely thank you guys. So tell everybody what it is that you do. I'm waiting to see who this LinkedIn user is. It just says LinkedIn user. And here it is. This is what they said. You see it on the screen?
Go, Bella.
And it says that it just says LinkedIn user.
Well,
and then
we'll
it says
that person out. But
and then they said Ramona, this is the other message. They said Ramona is phenomenal. And I'm like, who is that?
Well, Ramona, I don't know, but I tell you this, they're saying all the right things about the right people. I'll say a little bit, Ramona, about myself. First of all, I want to thank Ramona as I did. You know, I mean, just what the good Bible says. Even before I do a prayer, Ramona, I thank God before I ask anything.
Absolutely.
That's what my mama taught me back in the day.
Absolutely.
Well, everybody, I like to be called Bella, but that's not my real name. I've been branding my business for 14 years now. My real name is Linda, as you see, aka Linda Rigby. I used to be Linda Bridges. That's another story for another day.
Okay.
Bella, as Ramona knows, represents my event planning, or I like to say my event.
Oh, it's Tracy. It's Tracy. She just said it's Tracy Reynolds. Do you know her?
Oh my God, Tracy Reynolds.
I love her.
Girl. You know what? That's the queen that I met also on Clubhouse, Ramona. Shout out to Tracy. She has her own florist business.
Yes.
Canada.
Go. So you know exactly who we're talking about.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, support. But Ramona, a little bit about my quick story. Bella represents the 4 generations of my family on my mother's side, the matriarch. The B stands for Beatrice, who was my grandmother. Her name was Beatrice Hortense Mitchell. I miss my grandmother. The E stands for Ernestine. Oh, the woman in my life, my mother, whom I love, who passed away and transitioned with breast cancer. The L, obviously, I just told you all, lean in, people. We already started. My real name is Linda, and the A, the A in Bella stands for Ashley, my only daughter, my one child, and I'm leaving her all my legacy. She's getting all the millions.
That's right.
Millions, Ramona. So
well, tell her about that.
Of my family on my mother's side, and it's also my business, Bella Biz LLC.
I love it. So tell your daughter about Baz as well. You'll be shocked at how many people will come and test it out and love it and do phenomenal with it. Trust me, my daughter did. Both of my daughters. My youngest one, only 16. She knows it. If I ask her a question, she can answer it like this. She's just not interested. But the 19-year-old took $40, turned it into $650. And she said, "Oh my God, Mom, I'll never work for anybody." And guess what? She's 20 and she's getting ready to be 20 next week. And she hasn't worked yet because she makes her money by trading.
Now, Ramona, before you leave, because I keep up with you, do you have 3 daughters and 1 son or 2 daughters and 1 son?
3 and 1. I have 3 daughters, 1 son, 2 sets. It's an older set and a younger set. The younger set is in their teens, 19 and 16. We'll be 20 and 16 next week. And then the older set, my son he's 29. He will be 30. And my daughter's 27. He will be 30 in August.
And for Brandon, shout out to Brandon, man, you got it going on. I want to hear more about your business. Ramona, did I hear earlier that you said something about your daughter traded and made how much in one day, in 1 hour?
2,500. That wasn't my daughter that made that. My older daughter works for a Fortune 500 company for benefits purposes, but she actually trades and makes money just to pay her car note and her car insurance. Trading just pays that for her.
Wow. And as Ramona let everybody know.
And that was another family. That was another family that I brought into the other company that Brandon and I were in. And they wanted to teach their kids something from a young age, and Brandon starts teaching them financial literacy at 11. So go to backatzero.org and you will see his story and see why he started what he started outside of what he also shared here. But he is giving HBCUs, and he was making $250,000 a month when I was with that company.
Well, Ramona, you know what I speak about all the time. When you know whose you are, when you know what your purpose is, you move silently. And I want to say, shout out to Christina, your admin, who I love, and your mentee. I have to get all that out the way. All that out the way, Ramona.
Yes, I see people popping on. It's Saturday, so I knew that. I said, well, you know what? We probably should have started a little later. Everybody wants to sleep in, and they get up and get their Saturday going. So people are popping on to YouTube now, and you see people are on LinkedIn watching, as well as.
Ramona, let me ask you a question before you leave. Do you think anybody really wants to hear about the 1, 2, 3s of entrepreneurship? I mean, I'm just saying. I just came off of Ramona. I just came off of a 2-hour Breakfast with Champion. Marilyn asked me to come on.
Oh my goodness!
Spoke about this 2 hours ago.
I love that. Awesome. Yes, and yes. You have no idea how many people have came and given me a testimonial. And guess what? When I was on John Lee's stage, I had no idea whose lives I was touching and changing. And there are people who were sitting in the audience taking notes, and now he is a speaker. One of them is a speaker, and he told the story. He shocked me and told the story live while it was being recorded in one of the sessions that he spoke on. And he said, I don't think you know this, Ramona, but you are the reason that I left my company that I was working with and I didn't like working there. And I started my business based on all of the notes that I took, and I implemented them and started my business, and I have a thriving business now. And he said, I could imagine that you have other people just like that. And I'm like, what? He left his company, started a business with all of the value and notes and things of that nature that he took from my speaking. So you never know. I never say never. I never say no. I always take a look. So my suggestion to you is yes, yes, and yes, because there are entrepreneurs that went into entrepreneurship and became a millionaire or became financially free. Not everybody wants to be, like I said yesterday, not everybody wants to be a millionaire or a billionaire or trillionaire, right? Financial freedom, being able to move when you want to move and go where you want to go when you want to go, is what some people really want and call wealth and call financial freedom. So yes, there are some people who are out there that's afraid to start. There are some people out there who don't really know what entrepreneurship really is. So there you go. Absolutely. Please do share.
Ramona,
this is going to continue playing. This is going to, a lot more people are going to watch.
Well, I want to thank you once again before you get out the way, because you're right. When I went on Breakfast with Champions this morning, everything is timed and organized. Yes. That's why I like that membership. I was just telling my daughter, it's one of the leading, most powerful, but yet regulated. When I say regulated, they do it with style. I was only supposed to be on from 9 to 10, but the need was so great. Everybody started pouring in, as you know we do, that we went on like 11:15. I'm like, I gotta get off this. I gotta stay up on this thing.
Exactly. Yes. But you're absolutely welcome to come anytime. So you're here for the third or fourth time. I've lost track, but we do it every month. You are welcome to come back every time. It's a pleasure to have you. All right. Okay. I'm going to get out of your way and let you do what you do best.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Well, again, I want to say thank you and welcome to Ramona's Role Influencer. I am absolutely honored. Now I'm going to get right into it. No slides, straight talk. I'm a straight shooter. Everything I say, I'm going to speak on my experience, and everything that I speak is verifiable. You can Google AI, anything that I'm talking about. So I have something called a presentation. It's called the 1, 2, 3s of entrepreneurship. And I'm going to speak to those who have an LLC, to those who have an Inc. Inc. Corporation, and those who have an S. Now, we do know there are all different types of formations, but I'm speaking to those startups. Maybe you've already started your business. Maybe you are in business, and I want to reveal something to you. The 1, 2, 3s of entrepreneurship. The first thing I would recommend you do is to get an EIN number. And the EIN stands for Employee Identification Number. It's like your social security number. It is tied to your business. And that's one sure way to keep your personal social security number separated from your business, as I like to say, social security number. Number 2, When you know you're going into business, I will best advise you. And I'm going to speak from my strength in Georgia. I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, shout out to B-More, the DMV, the place to be. But I've been living in Atlanta for the last 25 years, and I'm going to encourage you, just like I said, Ramona and BWC on Clubhouse, I'm going to beg you, get on your state's website. For Georgia, it's the Secretary of State of Georgia, and it's endorsed by the boss imprint of the governor, and our governor is Brian Kemp. Search your business name. I'm going to say that slowly. Search your business name, because there's so many entrepreneurs out there you may not even understand or know. Someone may have your name or part of your name. Number two, once you've searched that business name on that Secretary of State website, under the tier, you have to drill down to the business searches, then register. I'm going to say that 2 more times, Ramona, for those who don't hear me. Register your business. I have Autos of Incorporation because I have an LLC, and I pay gladly with a smile, Ramona, every year my fees, because I want to keep my business current. So number one, get an EIN number, an employee identification number. Number two, take the time, my friends. Take the time, entrepreneurs. Search your name the same way one search when you're trying to get your website to get your domain name. Do the same on your state website. Once you do that, pay your fees, you're in. Step 3, join your local chamber of commerce. Yeah, Ramona, I said it. The Chamber of Commerce. It's not outdated. And I'm going to stop right here. The reason why I'm encouraging you to register with your local Chamber of Commerce, first of all, it costs absolutely nothing but a little bit of your time. I'm only going to speak for the state of Georgia because we have so many chambers of commerce, but they are set up by counties. So visit your local area and join. For Georgia, there's no fees. And the reason why I'm asking you and encouraging you to join the Chamber of Commerce, there's so many nuggets. People sleep on their local Chamber of Commerce. It's one in every state across these United States of America. And the reason for that is, Ramon, I got my first 2 clients for just simply joining up, attending some of their meetings, attending some of their meetups, and networking. Chamber of Commerce is a great way to network. I like to say non-threatening. You can do one-on-ones. And guess what? You can also, with the permission, lease, rent out the Chamber of Commerce. I had a few intimate events at the Chamber of Commerce. Again, get your EIN number. Search your business name and register your name. Also, visit the Chamber of Commerce. Here's another one of the 1, 2, 3s of entrepreneurship. Join the SBA. And for those of you, since you can't interactively talk back to me, the SBA stands for the Small Business Administration. The reason why you want to join SBA.gov, it's going to become your best friend. I cannot tell you, over the 14 years I've been affiliated, I've gotten free services. I've even gotten a SCORE mentor. And I'm going to talk about SCORE because it's a subsidiary of SBA. There's mentorships available, classes, and oh my God, so much more. Entrepreneurs, listen as I pause and sip on my lemonade. It's very important that we do things accordingly, in decent and in order. EIN number, register that business, right? Pay the fees and renew year after year after year. Sometimes they'll give you a deal. They'll shovel down the money if you pay 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. That's how it's set up in the state of Georgia. Again, I'm speaking from my strength, the state of Georgia, about the Secretary of State website. All right. We done talked a little bit about the Chamber of Commerce, how positively influential that can be, because it's not going to cost you any money initially. Just join it, network, find your tribe. I have one of the entrepreneurial friends called Stars Tina. She was speaking yesterday on Ramona's platform, and she says it all the time. Find your tribe. All right. And please go to SBA.gov, which stands for Small Business Administration.gov. There's a litany of classes online. Some of the fees are small base, $10, $25. But believe me, if you dig in all those nuggets, I'm sure you'll find something that's going to suit you in your business. All right. Here's another tip I love to see: the 1, 2, 3s of entrepreneurship. There's such a thing out there in the world of entrepreneurship called cohort. Cohort. What am I talking about? Some businesses that's already established. I'll give an example, Ramona. For those of you who don't know, Ramona and I are based in Georgia, Atlanta. And there's a lot going on in Georgia, as there are in all the other states. But there's someone high profile who has her headquarters here, and her name is Sarah Blakely. Okay, so by a show of hands, I'm going to take a 60-second break. Who knows who Sarah Blakely is and what business did she build from the ground up? I'm going to wait a minute, Ramona. Come on now. Interactive time. Who knows who Sarah Blakely is?
Is it Spanx? Ah, that's what I thought.
I only have one gold star, Ramona. You
Got
it.
it.
Sarah Blakely founded Spanx, and believe it or not, don't sleep on Atlanta. Her headquarters is here in Atlanta. I actually met Sarah Blakely. I had the privilege, because Ramona knows I'm not only an entrepreneur, I also still work in corporate America. So I do work for the sitting current mayor. Shout out to Mayor Andre Dickens. I'm on my 5th mayor, meaning, yes, I really do work for these folks who I love. And she has a program, Ramona, a cohort program where she selects women. She brings them into her fold. And I'm telling you, I have watched 6 entrepreneurs come in her program at no cost to them, Ramona. It's called the Red Bag Backpack. That's all I'll say. It's exclusive, but it gives you all the nuggets you need, and it costs absolutely nothing. I'll give another nugget, Ramona. Ramona, I know you're familiar with probably Jay Bailey. He's the president of the Rice Center, another cohort. Rice stands for Russell. I think it stands for Russell International Entrepreneur City. I got to go back because I think I'm doing Jay Bailey a wrong name. I think I botched that up. But it's a cohort program, and Jay Bailey is the president of Rice. It's stands for, I got to get it. Somebody got to help me, but I got to go do my due diligence. My point is, cohorts are programs, right? Small groups of entrepreneurs based on your type, your demographic, what type of business you have. I want you to start searching, even the word. Just type in the word cohort, SAI, to show you some cohort programs in your local areas. Now, I know people are familiar with Goldman Sachs. Damon Johns also has an entrepreneurship. One of my former entrepreneurs who I mentored, shout out to Eva Jane Buckley. She won $2,500, Ramona, off of Damon Johns' cohort program. What am I saying? There's a whole lot of different ways where you can get training, you can get the knowledge, you can get information. And what I want to do today is stir up the pot a little bit, Ramona, to some of those entrepreneurs to really think out the box. Because I am telling you, there's a lot of business to be gotten. And I don't want to be the only one with my event planning service getting all the business, okay? I want y'all to challenge Bella. So I'm going to recap, and we're going to talk about some more things. But number 1, get your EIN number. Number 2, register your LLC, your incorporated, or your S-type business on your state website, and make sure your name is not taken by someone else. Number 4, join the local chamber of commerce. It costs you nothing but a little bit of time. There's a great way to network. You can find clients in there. And I'm telling you, it's called the law of reciprocity. What you put out there in the universe will come back to you. Also join the SBA.gov. I said it. You can get some online training and drill down to SCORE, which is a subsidiary of the SBA. If you need a mentor or if you need anything other than to learn how to pitch, there's so many nuggets. My God, Ramona, I could take the whole day just to talk about the services that SBA offers under SCORE. And cohorts, look for programs, short term, right? 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. See if your business falls under the opportunity to do that. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out there, Ramona, doing business, but they're not documented. We want you to be documented because there's so many benefits. There's so much on the ROI. We know what that is, right? Return on investment. If you simply take these small steps. Because Ramona, I'm not going to drop no names. I know a lot of business owners, people who say they're entrepreneurs, they don't have anything registered. They're on the fly. And I am telling you, in my opinion, it's only in Bella's opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. I would prefer to be documented, right? So I can really make the real money and things can come to me. I'm going to give you another tip because I do work for the City Hall, for the office of City of Atlanta. Please, I'm a begging, Ramona, please, pretty please, take a visit down to your local City Hall. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, it does not matter. We're not talking about that. We're talking about using the advantages of going to City Hall. There's a lot of business, believe it or not, to be gotten right there in City Hall. And I would advise you, as such I did, to register to become a vendor. There's so much business. It's job opportunities, job boys, and it's called that internal networking. So what I'm going to do right now is recap a few things, and I want to press upon you. I really want to impress upon you. Don't do your business on the slide. Rather you making money, as some people say, under the table, legitimize your business. Because if you want to be taken seriously, then you've got to have all the bells and whistles. And these are the basic 1, 2, 3s of entrepreneurship. Register your company. Pay your fees. I'm not even going to talk in depth about websites, but if you need a website, get a website. A website, people still say, it's like your resume. It really, really is. Based on what type of business you have, it's key. Some people feel like, oh, I don't need all that. Just a link tree or a 10K card, and that's fine. But I'm speaking to those who want to be solid, who want to make a large portion of money and be respected. I'm going to say that one more time, Ramona. If you want to be respected in the business. And another thing, for God's sake, don't use Gigi in them. Use your business name, and let's stop using the Gmail and the AOL and use a .com. You know why? Because it matters. It really, really matters. I'm going to tell a little quick testimony, Ramona. Don't know how much time I got, but I can talk till eternity comes, and I do mean that.
You have a good 20 more minutes, so go right ahead.
Yeah, because I want to share the importance, Ramona. Ramona, stay with me. I really want to share the importance of.
I wholeheartedly agree with everything you're saying, by the way.
But it's a lot of people, and I'm not no shame in the game. I'm not a Debbie Downer, but there's a lot of people, Ramona. I hope somebody hear my voice who are doing business, but not really doing business.
Right. Yep.
And
I had to move my LLC from Delaware to Georgia because just listening to certain entrepreneurs, oh, it's less taxes, it's better in another state, etc. I said, you know what? I live in Georgia and I'm moving my LLC to Georgia. Yep.
And Ramona, we know the importance of not being on the fly It's important. I know Ramona can back up everything I'm saying.
Yes.
It's important to register. It's important to pay your fees. It's
Yes.
important to get your EIN number. It's
Yes.
important to do whatever the necessary things, because we know this is a lonely road. But entrepreneurs, guess what? If you listen to Bella, because everything I'm telling you, I've tried it, tested it, and found it true. I
Yes.
was the entrepreneur on the fly back in the day.
Okay. Okay.
It
Okay.
doesn't work. It
Right.
yields me fruit for the immediate, but you know what? I wasn't respected, Ramona. I
Right.
wasn't
Right.
respected. Oh,
Right.
that's that Bella, get to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
what you
Yes.
gotta do, you gotta line yourself up. Come on, Ramona,
Right.
and do
Absolutely.
the necessary work so it can
Exactly.
yield you fruit in the future. And I
So
know
true.
I want Ramona up here with me because I want her to verify
Yes.
everything that I am saying.
Every word from score.
Entrepreneurs,
Yep. And I
I'm
just
telling
looked up. I just looked up the Bailey guy, and
you.
Rice is a center, I believe. It's a center that he has here in Atlanta for
Right, Jay
entrepreneurs.
Bell.
Jay
It's
Bailey. Yep.
and you know what? He has a visionary like a lot of us, and what he's doing basically, Ramona. I love Jay. I know him intimately. Jay is the president, and he's got over 5,000 entrepreneurs coming in and out his
Wow.
center every day because you
Wow.
know what? He's a repository center. I want you to meet him, Ramona. He's got a brick
Absolutely.
and mortar that's there. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to come in and use conference space, podcast, because see,
Wow.
he understands, Ramona. Not every
Amazing.
can afford a brick and mortar, right?
I would love to meet him. I'm going to hold you to that.
I'm going to definitely connect you. But what I'm saying is, it's a center. It's what you call a learning center.
It's the
where you can
Russell. It's the
exchange.
Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs.
Thank you.
Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs.
Because if Jay hear me botching up, he gonna be like, Bella, what's your problem? Because I've had him on my platform, my YouTube
Oh,
platform.
awesome.
Let me
Oh,
tell you something,
awesome.
Ramona. I want to connect you with him because he's
Well,
doing.
he is welcome to come and speak. So I definitely want to connect with him. Absolutely.
And as you can see, this is real time, entrepreneurs. It's about networking, collaboration. Because
Absolutely.
I trust Ramona,
Right.
trusts me. The foundation's already been built and it's
Right.
already been started. I'm going to absolutely put Ramona down. Why wouldn't I put
There
Ramona
you go.
down? See,
That's what it's
Ramona,
about.
stay up here with me in my last 10 minutes. I want to
Absolutely.
share something with somebody. I want to
Okay.
make somebody free, Ramona, because
There
I'm
you
telling
go.
somebody's thinking, oh, it don't take all that. They
Exactly.
scripted. No, it does take all that.
Yep.
And first
Absolutely.
of all, Ramona, I'm not in the business of getting friends. I'm in the business of being respected.
Yes. There you go. There you go. Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
Ramona, can I tell you, I
Mhm.
followed you for probably almost 2 years before I really started speaking to you because
Wow.
I saw you in action. And I said to myself, Ramona, God is my witness. She's one of me. What do I mean?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Like-minded.
Yes.
Iron sharpens iron. No
Yes.
nonsense. Ramona means what she says and says what she's mean. And I'm
Yep.
telling you, we ain't here to play no games. We
Nope.
out here to help and save lives. So lean
Exactly.
in. The second day of Ramona's conference, I don't know about you, but Ramona, I got a whole new journal book because I got so many notes.
I know. I know.
And
I'm
what are we
surrounded by
saying?
them right now. I'm surrounded by all of my journals right now from every single one of the rooms that I go into and everybody. So yeah.
And entrepreneurs, as Ramona is sharing her platform of all these innovative entrepreneurs, I'm simply saying this in a recap.
Yes.
Register your business.
Yes, absolutely.
Get that EIN number. It's
Yes.
somebody on Clubhouse that Ramona and I know. His name is T.M. Hyman. I never
Yep.
take nobody's shine. He says it all the time. Your 4 best friends should be, and he's right. Your
Yes.
accountant.
Yep.
You should have a lawyer.
Yep.
You should have a mentor. And what's the 4th thing, Ramona? I get stuck on the 4th, but I know TM says you should have an
Should be a
accountant.
coach.
A coach. There you
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Very critical. And remember, entrepreneurs, you're not in it by yourself. It's a lonely road. I'm getting
Absolutely.
talking to oxymoron, but check this out.
Right.
You have to walk the walk, talk the talk. You have to know what your why is. But
Yes.
more importantly, I am here to scream. You don't have to do it alone.
Exactly.
Ramona is here. I'm going to advise you to join and subscribe to Ramona. Let me tell you something. I
Absolutely.
want y'all to know something. This information is valuable. Ramona, before I close the Breakfast with Champion room at
Okay.
11:15, I was looking at the stage. I said, we probably worth $1 trillion up on here, Ramona. John and Julie and
So
David,
true.
all the people. I mean, I was looking at
Yes.
the wealth of knowledge that we all have.
Yes, yes,
individually,
yes, yes.
but when we
Absolutely.
come together,
Yes. We're way much stronger. Much stronger together. Absolutely. And one thing that I want to point out from what you just said is that people really need to know is your business is going to treat you how you treat it. If you are lackadaisical and slack and complacent with your business by not putting everything into place properly, setting it up properly, then that's exactly how it's going to treat you. It's going to be slack. It's going to be lackadaisical. It's going to be complacent. You won't flourish, grow, and thrive, which is one of the topics of the event this week. You will not thrive in it not as well as you can thrive. You will get sales, you will get business, but it will not really thrive. And who doesn't want a thriving business? Right?
Exactly. But you know what, Ramona, I want to say, I met a new friend, a new entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs really are my friends, for real,
right.
Ramona.
Right.
Shout out to Caesar. He had a red ticket. He came in BWC, and he, I believe, has a business in Miami, and he was training to boxers, local boxers.
Oh, wow.
Here's what he said, Ramona. This got the whole stage. He said, yeah, Bella, I want to thank you for bringing me up, but I want to remind entrepreneurs, be kind to the community. Give back to the community. And as he was talking, I welled up. I really did, because Ramona, I said, you know what? Yes, because Marvin talks about the roadmap, right?
Yes, yes.
It bleeds with me, because even though business is separated, right? I pay my taxes, and me, trust me, they come together. And when he says it, that's right, because I volunteered for Habitat for Humanity.
Awesome.
And the Bella Biz LLC has yet to grab onto something community. And he said, you know what? I said, Ramon, let me check myself, because I'm going to find a need. But when he brought it up, it made sense. He says, please, business owners, give back to the community. Ramona, I'm certainly sure you give back, don't you, Ramona?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I have been the HOA of this community that I live in for 20 years.
What?
Yes. Something else that I don't really mention, but yes. Keeping the community together, keeping the community up to par, and making sure that everybody is living in a comfortable, serene setting in their environment, community, where they can thrive, where they feel comfortable, where they feel safe. Not one break-in 20 years. The streets are still clean and stay picked up for 20 years.
I think that's an impeccable record that may not can be broken, Ramona. I don't know.
No, I mean, nothing. No crime. No, I mean, nothing. I mean, once or twice there was like a little egging of a house or something, but that's when the kids are out in the summer. Of course, kids are.
I want to throw one more nugget, because Ramona, I want to give them a little bit to whet their appetite. Tell a little bit more about how they can find me. And this is most
important. Please do. Please do.
Businesses are built on foundations, just like a home, right, Ramona?
Yep, exactly.
If you do these things, get your EIN number.
There you go.
Register your business.
Yep.
Join the local chamber of commerce.
Yes.
Get in line with SBA, right?
Yes.
Join a cohort, like I gave a couple examples in Atlanta. Sarah Blakely has them. Yeah. Jay Bailey has them. And people know Forbes.
Definitely let me know. Let me know when the next one is for Sarah Blakely, as well as Mr. Riley.
I absolutely will. But what I want to get them to understand, Ramona, if they do the little things, the important things in the beginning, somewhere in the Bible says, God will make you steward over a lot, but you got to start out small. Ramona, I am telling you, there's something called, here we go. Y'all ready? This is my final drop in the nugget. It's called SWOT. SWOT. And I know my girl Ramona knows all about it. So lean in, entrepreneurs.
I love it. I love it.
Everybody knows. I want to say it in the chat, because I certainly know all about SWOT and Ramona, but we don't want to get the tea away, Ramona.
Nope.
Somebody put in the chat, Ramona, who knows what SWOT stands for? Come on now. Somebody. Come on, Ramona.
You have been doing your homework. You have been doing your homework. You are not just sitting in these rooms wasting time.
I'm gonna give him 30 more seconds while I sip on my lemonade. Come on, Ramona. Ramona, see if the answers anywhere, Ramona.
I don't see any, but I'm putting the question in the chat. What is SWOT? SWOT. What is SWOT?
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to break it down, and that's why I wanted my partner in crime up here next to me.
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, SWOT stands for strengths,
Yep.
weaknesses, opportunity,
Yep.
and threat. And I know somebody saying, what in the world is she talking about?
Everybody needs to do this assessment on a regular basis. Absolutely.
They can Google it, Ramona. We're not going to do no homework for them because guess what? We are independent, and I think we are all well over 21.
That's
Google it and do it. It's a self-assessment, and it talks about your business. But I'm going to tell you something, Ramona. Before you take this mic from me, Ramona, tell these folks, you have to be honest, people.
Yes.
It's not going to work if you're lying because it's designed to help you look at the real who you are, where you are, to help you in your business. Now, Ramona, talk a little bit about that because I love me some SWOT.
Absolutely. So SWOT is an analysis. It's a self-analysis that you need to do on yourself, your business as well. And if you are in business and you have a clientele, maybe you're a coach, and it would behoove you to also do this same exact analysis on your clients, especially if you're coaching. And even in Bella's business of doing events, she can also do this SWOT analysis on her clients that she does events for, because it will help her better understand, for one, how to relate to your customer and your client base. And it will give her information about them that she can now use when she's communicating with them to build credibility, as well as find areas that she can assist them in. So Bella can work with a client on an event, for example, and because she has done a SWOT analysis, or when she does that SWOT analysis, it will show her the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities. Who doesn't need opportunities? Who would not want to know what opportunities would Bella have for this client, to work with this client, and she could possibly help them in another area? When she learns that there's other opportunities that they have, they could actually not only be doing an event, but looking for a speaker. Oh, so Bella can say, oh, there's opportunity for speaking engagements. If Bella doesn't want the speaking engagement, Bella will now come out, connect with other speakers that she knows, and she will refer them. And sometimes there is a referral fee, which is an opportunity for Bella to get a referral fee for referring a speaker that's going to fill a slot. And guess what she just did? She just helped that business. She saved them money, for one, because now they don't have to go out and seek and find the person that they need to fill that particular speaking opportunity or engagement. And they will give her the referral fee. The speaker will make something for speaking. And now it's an ecosystem, is what it really is, that you're creating by using SWOT. Finding out what you need to know, what your strengths are, your weaknesses are, what are your opportunities, as well as what are your threats. So threats is just as vital as your strengths and weaknesses. Threats, what is the threat to my business? What is the threat to me? And your threat might be, personal threat might be, I'm complacent. I am a procrastinator. I procrastinate. I have a tendency to procrastinate. Guess what? That's a threat, because you will miss opportunities by procrastinating, right? And that is exactly what Bella is speaking to you guys right now. Is she's trying to get you guys to stop treating your business like a hobby. Your business is not a hobby.
Ramona, you had me at hello. And people think this is a game. This is not a game. Because one thing I've admired about Ramona, before I even spoke to her family, listen to me, entrepreneurs. We're not up here playing no games. We're not saying anything just for nice. I follow and watch Ramona. Ramona was consistent every time she came off that mic on Clubhouse. And let me tell you something, you people. You know what you know. You know when somebody is giving you, you know what, and you know when they're the real deal. And Ramona is the real deal. She has a feather of a background. I'm telling you. Tell them, Ramona, it wasn't depositing me, and I'm trying to help somebody off of a couple of years of sweating, trying to make something happen, and it just won't be right. I'm
absolutely,
Ramona. I keep it real, Ramona.
So true. Absolutely. So yes, that is really truly my brand statement. My brand statement, my brand promise. My brand promise is to always over deliver. And the reason why I'm going this far and this deep into explaining why Bella felt the way that she felt, because that is your brand. How people feel in your presence when they encounter you and experience you is your brand. Your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card. But how you make people feel is your trademark. And that truly, essentially, is your brand. How do people feel when they engage with you? So my brand promise, what I promise anywhere I go, is to leave people with more, expanded, feeling like they have expanded, feeling like they have gotten something that they can use and take away and implement and help them become better. Better at what? Better at whatever it is that they need.
Absolutely.
Because if I'm not delivering something that they can use, they wouldn't resonate. You would not have resonated with me if I was not showing up and giving value that people can use. So I always made sure that the value that I shared was related to the topic, because if the topic attracted people to that space, then that's what they came for. They came to hear more value on the topic. So that's exactly what I used to do. That's how I move. That's how I operate. That's how I think. And I show up being the person that I needed.
And I'm telling y'all something, Ramona's not paying me a dime. Trust me out. Everything she said, because every time she was on Clubhouse, she brought me on stage. We was in those business rooms. She was always consistent. Ramona don't just talk about it, she be about it. No. And yes, Carolyn Bell, God bless her, because she's also my sister girl queen friend too.
Carolyn is still here. I absolutely love her.
Because I'm getting ready to turn the tables on Ramona. She don't like it, but you know what? People deflect. Flowers now. I'm giving you.
I don't like being put on the spot. I don't talk about me that much at all. That's why people don't know what I do. I don't talk about it.
But Ramona, before I recap, because I got a few more, I'm gonna recap. But Ramona, I'm gonna put you on the spot right now. Ramona, I absolutely love it. You know, we talk off this app, off of this Clubhouse, and even off of this tag on YouTube. But I love what you're doing. The speakers, I love what you're building. I'm gonna be about it always. I will stop. Look, except for the man, Ramona. Man, tell me to do something. But I will stop everything else for you, Ramona.
Oh, thank you.
And change my schedule, because I know the importance. But see, what y'all don't know, what I know, Ramona actually cares about you all. She really does. And that's rare to find someone who's going to bring you a plethora of speakers. Come on, somebody.
Oh, my goodness.
And going to give you direct access. But don't get no better. So I'm giving you flowers again now, Ramona, as I recap the last few things.
Love you back.
Hopefully Ramona will have me back. I want y'all to stay kind, be nice. Yes, and I say this, you know, we have phrases on Clubhouse, and this is one on Ramona, and they say, oh, come on, Bella, say that thing. Dawn, bless me. What do you say to yourself when you're talking to yourself about
I heard that before.
Make it kind. What I'm saying is, be your own best friend, be your own cheerleader. You are your worst critic. You are your worst enemy. You're in competition with no one.
There you go.
Again, Ramona, so they can hear it in the back. You're not in competition with no one.
At all.
Yourself.
It's you against you. That's
Stay focused on your business.
Absolutely.
EIN number, registration, pay your fees. Join the Chamber of Commerce. Get online with SBA. Look for some of these cohort programs in your local. And for God's sake, because I worked there, been there, doing that, go down and visit. Don't be scared of your local city hall. Go down there, spend some time. Look at the board. See what's going on. See if you can register as a vendor. I am telling you, Ramona, you know me, I'm a woman of faith.
Yes.
As my witness, all these things will come together.
Absolutely.
If you want more Bella, just go to @Bella Unplugged. That's Bella Unplugged, everything. But I would appreciate if you go to my YouTube, just like I've subscribed to you, Ramona. I'm trying to build my YouTube channel and just subscribe. It's Bella Unplugged. But you can DM me on Instagram, Bella Unplugged. That's BELA UNPLUGGED. Pass it, because we do a lot of unplugging. Okay.
Awesome. So for people who want to donate to your nonprofit, and speaking of which, James Dentley is coming up to speak right after you're done at about 1:00, and his organization actually chooses a nonprofit every year to donate to. Yes. Limitless TV and he brings all of these other entrepreneurs together to donate to a nonprofit. So you definitely want to stick around.
Absolutely. I want everybody to know before I exit, because I love Ramona. Now you see, now I want y'all to see this is in real time. See, Ramona and I are teachers. She didn't have to say that, and I wasn't even going to say anything. But the House of Bella Foundation is my 501c. Please, if you want to know any more about that, just go to my Instagram, Bella Unplugged. Past tense, Bella Unplugged, as you see there, and just hit me up. Ramona, it's been a pleasure. I want to stay down.
Pleasure.
I want to cheer for everybody else, Ramona.
Absolutely.
I hope I added value to someone. And
my gosh, that was tons of value.
With something different. Do something different.
Absolutely.
Love you, and I love you more.
Thank you. We have Atlanta in the house. We have Canada is in the house. Tracy Reynolds is in the house over on LinkedIn. Thank you. And thank you again for being here. Thank you for your yes. Thank you for sharing value, because that's what it's all about. And with that said, we are getting ready for our next speaker. So Christina has a little something that she's going to play. And anytime that you are in contact with the gentleman again that you spoke about, or anytime that you know of programs or anything of that nature, let me know, and I will be right there.
We are tied to the hip, Bella.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. I'm going to say one more thing. I got to say, because we got a few minutes. I want to say, I'm going to brag on Ramona, because she don't like to talk about herself. Now, I work with these mayors, and I'm going to talk about my 59th mayor. I got to go on my hair, Ramona.
Goodness, 50.
So I go by numbers. The 59th mayor of the city of Atlanta was Mayor Kasim Reed. Shout out. I gotta be impartial. Yes. They all kind of get like little children, but Mayor Reed is one of my favorite mayors. He really is. And he had an event, a political event. But you know what? I want to tell you how good God is, but more importantly, how good friendship is. See, Ramona had intentions on coming. It was $100 ticket. Yes, she paid it, but you know what? She not only paid it, she wasn't able to come due to double booking. But you know what? Here's what I'm talking about. She stick and stayed anyway, because some people, I ain't going. You know where I'm coming. I didn't get any of that. Ramona was like, Bella, apologies, not able to make it, because we haven't met in person. Yep. No. Come on, somebody. We don't know, but we haven't met in person yet. But see, Ramona, you have my heart, because you not only you donated anyway.
Absolutely.
To me, Ramona.
Absolutely.
So I thank you. And Mary thanks you as
well. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. So thank you. And thank you, Bella, everybody. Linda Rigby in the house. So thank you. And thank you so much for all of that value. I have one question for you, though. What do you think of the BOI? Mm-hmm. It's the business report, the new business report. What do you think of that? And what can you tell?
I'm going to tell you, first of all, I do have an accountant, but I have a paralegal, right? And shout out to Lenore. And she has her own business. You know what? Before I even could comment, she said, listen, Bella, let me not look, because I have a fee, and you have to pay people coming, Ramona. I paid, and it was only $50. I paid her $50. She said, I'm going to go ahead and file it. I didn't even know what it was all about. She said, Bella, you need to file it. So I gave it to my paralegal, who looks out for my nonprofits. Ramona, I didn't even really know what it was. She said, it's another document that you need to make sure you register for your business. So she filed it for me. Within 24 hours, it was done, Ramona.
There you go. So that's exactly what all of you guys need to do. When you are in business, you have to make sure that all of your ducks are in a row as well. So there you go. So thank you. I definitely just wanted to point that out and put that on in your segment as well. All right. Well, thank you. Bella and Linda Rigby is in the house, everybody. So thank you again, and we will see you on the next one. All righty. So we have another speaker coming up shortly at 1:00, just about 10 minutes or so. And Christina is going to play something for us if she is available. Christina, can you grab that really quickly? It could be the Just Do It, if you like. Or you could play the music. So whichever one is perfectly okay. We only have a couple more minutes, maybe 10 minutes. We have 12 minutes actually total. So before we do that, Christina is going to come up and play. There you go. Oh, I love that. Okay, go right ahead. I'm going to go back down and everybody listen in.
I don't care how good you are. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how much you work on yourself. There are some times when things aren't going to go right. There are times when anything that can happen will happen.
Life happens. The unexpected. the uncalled for, the unintentional. We've been damaged emotional, damaged spiritual.
It may be your business. It may be your heart that is broken today. It may be the number in your bank account that is screaming, "You are broke."
You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and all of those are going to leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory or it can be the mark of defeat.
It is staying with the breaking that produces the blessing. It is not what you go through that determines where you end up. It's who you listen to. Because I think right now you are walking through a valley between two voices. One is wisdom, one is worry. One is gratitude, one is grumbling. One is blame, one is faith.
Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity to get stronger and get smarter and get faster and get tougher and get more stable and get more resilient and get better.
What I need you to do is I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to. Push through it. Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. You have the opportunity to show the world what you are really made of.
I need you to look at that sickness that's going on in your life right now, whatever it is. I want you to say, I can beat it. I can beat it. I will beat it. I must. I got a family to live for. I ain't through yet. My life ain't over yet. There's some things in life you don't need no degree for. You don't need no money for it. You don't need no support for it. There's some things in life you just gonna get through when you tell yourself, I'm gonna get through this.
Regardless of what happens to your life, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trial and tribulation, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you. No situation, no circumstance, no piece of adversity can define your life. Never let a circumstance define you.
And I'm not retreating. I'm not running. I don't care what they say on paper. I don't care if you say we outnumbered. We live by this and we die by this. We don't retreat. We don't run. We gonna stand, we gonna live, and we gonna die by what we stand for, and everybody gonna know what we represent and what we're a part of.
I got staying power. I got staying power.
Be encouraged today that no matter what you walk through, no matter how broken your marriage is, no matter how many times you failed,
there is within you a spirit that is greater than whatever is going on around you.
If you would be willing to fight your way through this battle, fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through divorce, fight your way through it. If you are willing to fight your way through that singing career, fight your way through boxing, fight your way through football, I'm telling you, at the end of the fight is going to come victory.
And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, as you rise above what you were, and as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
Wow, wow, wow. That was powerful. How many of you got any takeaways, nuggets out of that segment? That was very motivational, very inspirational, very inspiring. Fight. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. So he mentioned it. He mentioned it, that sickness or that academic challenge that you're having. Keep fighting. And that is the message. Keep fighting. If you want wealth, you have to fight for it. You have to go after it. If you want your health back, you have to fight for it. You have to go after it. And that is how you get to the point of thriving. Absolutely. This too shall pass. Nothing lasts always. I mentioned Carolyn Bell. She's here headed to Tampa, driving to Tampa, she said. So she won't be able to interact. However, I shared that story a little bit earlier this morning with Megan DiMartino, who helped us open up this morning. And I told her the story that Carolyn shared 6 months after. Well, actually, she lost her husband 2 years ago. And then she fought through the grief of that and then had to figure things out and how she was going to put things back together. And then opened a business. And she would call me and kind of question whether or not she can do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know if I can pay my rent. And I said, absolutely, you're going to do it. And absolutely you can. So that is exactly that particular piece that Christina just shared was exactly what she did. And now here she is, have tripled her income. The doctor, after having spinal fusion surgery, unexpected, unforeseen, a health scare, unforeseen, she had spinal fusion surgery, and the doctor told her that it's going to take 18 months. Well, guess what? It has not even been a year. She's open. Her business is open. Her Pilates studio, Happy Life Movement, is open, operating. And she just did a photo shoot and an article for Lifestyle Magazine. And they loved what she's doing, and they wanted to feature her in that magazine. As well as there's a whole host of other things that are happening and doors opening up for her because she refused to give up. And she has been fighting through the challenges. And challenge, I mentioned it yesterday. Challenge is my favorite word. CHA at the beginning, NGE at the end of the word challenge. Right there built into the word challenge is the word change. And that is exactly what these challenges that you are having is trying to get you to do. There's something that you need to do in order to, in fact, change into your life or your business. Something's not going well in your business. What is it that you need to change is the question that you need to ask yourself. And what I would highly recommend is doing a SWOT analysis. And this is James Dentley calling right now. So let me make sure he has the link. Hello, James Dentley. How are you? Oh, okay. She sent an email, but I'll go ahead and send it directly to you. I'm sorry. Christina Baca. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And she spells it with a K. Okay, no problem. Trust. K, it's K. Yes. It's KHRY. RY. Uh-huh. No worries. No worries at all. Okay, thank you. And it's day 2. Scroll down towards the bottom and then day 2 is the next one. Awesome. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Awesome. So that was Sir James Dentley looking for the speaker link, and he is definitely on his way. So thank you. And thank you again, Christina, for that phenomenal piece you did. We shared a different one on yesterday, and we'll share that one again a little bit later for those people that weren't here on yesterday so that they can definitely hear that one, the Just Do It. We'll hear that one a little bit later after Sir James. In fact, he's coming in just a couple of minutes. Christina, how long was that one? How about you go? Oh, well, you know what? I don't want to delay him because he is also leaving a training to come and speak and then going back. So don't start it yet because we only have a couple of minutes left. So with that said, you guys are in for another treat. Sir Baron James Dentley will be coming. He is the CEO of Limitless TV. I will be starting a show on his Limitless TV network shortly, probably going to be launched at the end of May, early June, if not sooner, but I will definitely keep you guys informed. You will definitely see it announced on my feed when we launch it. And then it's going to be centered around entrepreneurship, exactly what Bella and I just finished talking about. And he has also founded Inspired to Speak. So he builds and curates speakers. as well. So anybody out there wanting to learn how to speak with more impact and learn how to get over maybe the fear of speaking, learn how to maybe get rid of filler words. Maybe you use a lot of filler words, or ands, and you repetitively have a habit of doing so. I would definitely highly encourage you to attend his trainings for speakers, Inspired to Speak, as well as if you have a show, a podcast, or anything of that nature, definitely consider getting on a call with him so that he can tell you how you can bring your show to his Limitless TV network. And we are definitely grateful that he always gives us his yes and shows up no matter how busy he is. And he's definitely really busy. And if you go to his feed, you'll definitely see how busy he is. He travels the world as well. And he is leaving a training, I believe, today to come and speak. So you guys are in for a treat. Get your pens and papers out. You are definitely going to feel expanded when he's done. So I'm going to bring him up right now so that we don't take too much of his time. Hello, sir, Dr. James Sidley. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you so much for always giving us your yes and always being here to over deliver, because that's exactly what you do, is you over deliver on the value. I always get so many testimonials, so many people saying that you impacted them through your speeches, because they are always so powerful and impactful. So thank you.
Well, first of all, I'm so honored to be here. And it is I who thank you. I don't take this for granted, because when someone allows me to share it with their community, they're entrusting me with their credibility, with everything that you stand for. So I'm very honored to be here. I honor you because you always have been a supporter of ours, and we're here to help you and your entire community to achieve whatever may be for them.
Awesome. So thank you so much. And Bella Linda Rigsby, I just connected you guys not too long ago. She just spoke right before you. And I told her that you were coming on, and she was excited to be here. So we have Canada in the house. I have a good friend of mine, Tracy Reynolds, is chiming in from LinkedIn, because we're streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook as well.
Nice.
So we have Canada in the house, California in the house, Florida. Carolyn Bell, who was my regional director when I was a regional manager years ago with a franchise chain, she spoke on yesterday as well. So she is here too, on her way to Tampa right now from Fort Myers. Wow. So the people are here, they're ready, and I'm going to get out of your way and let you do what you do best.
Well, wow. Well, first of all, I'm so honored to be here. And, right now, I'm actually in a hotel, Hilton Garden in Tinley Park, Illinois, and I have speaker training going on right now.
Oh, my goodness.
And I have a room. I only take 20 people at each session. Wow. We have 4 days of virtual training and 4 days of live training.
Oh, wow.
And I wear them out as interactive. I teach them how to become fully self-expressed, the psychology of their communication.
Oh, I love it.
The first 45 seconds, how they own the stage, how they put themselves in state before they get here.
Awesome.
And how to lock in, even when their significant other in their homes, their family members, how to be present.
Right.
How to show up, and whether you want to speak on stages or create programs or products, or whether you want to make $1,000 a speech or you want to make $100,000 in an hour.
Wow.
That's what we get a chance to do here. And we're having a time of our lives. And
I bet.
And we got a few people from Canada here too.
Oh, so awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I've been doing it for 30 years, Ramona. And
wow.
I love to watch people when they get certification.
Yes.
Because then they're qualified to be on our stages, or for us to get behind them and move their products, programs. And how do we, your success is somebody else's miracle. So how do we collaborate to create wins for you? Because when you win, we win. And then we have a TV network. So we still advertise their brand.
Awesome.
And we have TV shows and podcasts and state-of-the-art platforms. So
amazing.
I'm having a ball this weekend.
Awesome, I bet. And I have a couple of people to refer to you as well. I think you met one of the gentlemen, Ron Wilsh. Yeah, and you met him already. And he definitely, that's the first thing he said, he said, I really want to get my speaking down. So I told him, I already suggested that he definitely attend your Inspired to Speak as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day and your busy schedule while you're training. So I'm going to get out of the way and let you do what you do best. And then I'll come back up as soon as you're done.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm honored to be here. So I start off with a question. Here it is. If there was a way that I could say how great you could be, would you listen to me? If there was a price that you could pay that would give you the life that you seek, would you pay that price today? And if there was some work that you could do Would you roll up your sleeves because the work is really on you? And if there was this promise of silver and gold, of pleasures and treasures, and fortunes untold, would you do what it takes no matter how tough, and would you dare never quit when the going gets rough? Would you build something great? Would you let it build you? I know you have a dream, a goal, but there's something else you must do. Because when you're building a dream, the dream has to build you. So if there was a way that I could say how great you could be, would you listen to me? I'm always honored to get a chance to speak, and I've been speaking, training, coaching, and training speakers for right around 30 years now. I've done it in several countries. I've trained about 75, 80 people in home-based business that have earned between $1 and $20 million. And I've trained another 25 people in traditional business how to build and scale businesses as well. And I'm very honored because somebody like me who came from, we always say humble beginnings. Well, I have three sisters, and my mother raised the four of us, working in a grocery store in the daytime and working in a dentist's office by night. First of all, we never had a lot of money, but I learned how to create money very early. And the philosophy there is simply solving a problem and filling a need. So I would rake leaves for those who didn't feel like doing it, didn't have time, or weren't able. I would shovel the snow in Chicago, Illinois, because there's a lot of snow. I would carry groceries. I would freeze my mother's Kool-Aid in a little Dixie cup and sell it. And call it a freeze pop. They flip it upside down. They would just suck the flavor out of their Kool-Aid, frozen Kool-Aid pop. I've always had the ability to create. And I learned a long time ago that, you don't make money. That's for the U.S. Mint to do. You create it. You create it. And money is so accessible to everyone. It's just about using that 5% of magic that resides in every human being, imagination. Because everything that exists came from the void. Everything that exists, no matter what room you're in, no matter what you're looking at, whether it be a telephone, a computer, or whatever, if it's chairs in the room, pictures, plants, the wall itself, once upon a time, it didn't exist. But it all started with imagination. Van Gogh once said, I dreamed of my painting, and then I painted my dream. That means there was a vision, but then there was action. And when you begin to paint, you're not painting by numbers. If you do, it's kind of easy because someone has already etched out what it is you are creating. It's almost like you have this big puzzle with thousands of pieces, but there's no picture on the box. It's a different animal there. And you have to figure out how to put things together. But isn't it true that everything that's ever been created, everything that we enjoy, started that way? It started in that imagination. 80% of our lives are driven by a subconscious mind, driven by our habits. We don't think about brushing our teeth, we just brush them. Sometimes you drive in a car, you're like, wow, and you're still in the lines, but you weren't paying attention. That's called being unconsciously competent. You've been doing it so long, so much, it's like breathing. You don't have to focus on that activity anymore. And then you got 15%, which is conscious, and that's intentional work. The intentional work that you do. And that intentional work that you do, when you look at your subconscious, that's driven by a lot of stories. And then you have your intrusive mind, and that is the one where fear and apprehension and things that hold you back, and the validation of not playing full out. I have learned a thing or two in my life. I have an honorary doctorate degree in divinity. I've been knighted by the Royal House of Cappadocia, Constantine the Great, and St. Helen many years ago. I was elevated to become the Grand Prior of Illinois, which is a governorship. And this royal order started in 312 AD. And now I have the title of His Excellency Baron of St. James of Cappadocia. And I'm not saying it to impress you. I want to talk to you about the recipe and how to create the success you want for your life. Well, no matter what it is, doesn't matter whatever is, there is a recipe. It's like learning how to bake a cake. Once you learn how to bake a cake, it doesn't matter what kitchen you're in, because the foundations of creating what you want are pretty much the same, whether it's in your personal life, in your business life, no matter what it is, because we always fall to the level of our foundation. We hit rock foundation, not rock bottom, but rock foundation. And I love foundations because you can build upon them. You can build on the foundation. I don't like ceilings because there's no limits to the human possibility. So first of all, I'm going to help you with some languaging because everything begins with the way that you think, because that thinking impacts what you say, the conversations you have. It comes from thought. Okay. Everything comes from a thought. People say, well, what do you fear? And I say, well, fear really doesn't exist. We were trained that that's a real thing. False evidence appearing real. How about feeling excited and ready? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I decided to give the meaning in my life the meaning I choose. That's why I live my life happily and joyfully every single year. Somebody said, I don't believe you're happy every day. Yes, I am, because I choose it. What about, you said you went through cancer. Well, June, I'll be 7 years cancer free, but I was happy through the journey every single day because I get to choose. Because there's something outside of me or something inside of me, like a cancer, if it's driving my emotions, then I'm no longer in charge. I am outer directed, not inner directed. So I control the controllables, what I can handle. And I understand certain things are not meant for me to control. I learn to love everybody because these are choices I can make, because I can love a person across the street. I don't require those things, because when I show up joyfully and cheerfully and show up in a space of love, I communicate clearly and I can create, because I'm at peace, because I'm not driven by the emotions of the day. I know some of us remember the days when something happens and we say, my heart is so broken. Somebody broke your heart. How many people in the chat, if you ever had your heart broken, felt like you had your heart broken, say, yeah, I understand. Okay. But if your heart was really broke, wouldn't you be dead? It is a story. I love teaching the art of communication, because communication lets you understand your life as a story, and a story worth living, a life worth living, is worth recording, worth leaving that legacy of where you've been, the good, the bad, and indifference, so the people that come behind you can, first of all, understand what they're a part of, because you are a part of your father and mother. Your DNA is in them. We can identify your relationship with them through your DNA, through a strand of your hair. We identify you and only you. But your grandparents are part of them, which makes them a part of you. And you're a part of the people you bring here, but it's much more than that. Because did you know that because we're 72% water, that water will crystallize based upon the frequency that you put before it? Because true language is frequency. A tree communicates with another tree if it's under attack, so the other trees can protect itself. The fish in the ocean, they can't scream underwater, but they communicate. It's vibrational. Even a baby in a mother's womb who doesn't have language yet, it's vibration. That's why it's important that when a mother is going through that pregnancy, that she has peace and calm and not be under duress, because that child has to figure out what to do with the different frequencies that are coming towards it. And when we don't know what to do with it, we create our own language, because that's what survival is all about. So it begins when you come out, we start learning and experiencing with thought. Thought inspires words. Words inspire actions. Actions create habits. There was a poet that once said, who am I? I am your constant companion. I'm your greatest helper, your heaviest burden. I can lift you upward, or I could drag you down to failure. If you teach me to do a thing repeatedly, I begin to do it automatically. I am easily managed, but you must be firm with me. I am the first of all those who are great, and alas, those who are failures as well. Those who are great, I have made great. Those who are failures, I have made failures. I'm not a machine, yet I operate with the precision of a machine, yet the intelligence of a human being. But if you teach me and train me, I'll lay the work at your feet. But if you're easy with me, I will destroy you. You may run me for profit, or you can run me for ruin. It makes no difference to me. Who am I? I am called habit. Habit is my name. Your habits describe your character, and your character equals your destiny. Because in life, you don't get what you want all the time, but you get who you are. So if we want to achieve more, then we must become more. We work on ourselves like a little kid flopping around in their parents' shoes, and one day their feet will grow and they'll walk in those shoes and step right out the house in your shoes, wearing your coat, driving your car. That's a true progression of living. I love to teach communication and the psychology of it, because what we teach other people don't. How to use your voice like the soundtrack of a movie. How to get past anxiety and understand that when you're on that stage, you're never the star. I'm not the star of any show. I am the director, and the audience is a star. I have one job: help people get their Oscar, help them build a more loving and a prosperous relationship because of the art of communication, inside and outside. 57% of communication is nonverbal, but it always starts with the way that you're thinking. It always starts with the power of thought. And when you think about it, that's the reason why Warren Buffett said if you want to double your income right away, that means invest in your ability to effectively communicate. When you're speaking, if you want to be a speaker or you want to be great in the classroom or in the boardroom or the Sunday school or whatever, or the pulpit, it doesn't matter. Do you want to be even more impactful? When you're speaking to yourself, like the little engine that could, faced with that hill, said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Oh, yeah, sometimes you have to have a staff meeting all by yourself. And people say, well, isn't talking to yourself the act of crazy people? Others say, no, I always talk to myself. And I ask people, have you ever gone downtown in a major city and seen people talking to themselves? You avoid these people. You don't go and talk to them. You stay away from those people. And people say, well, no, I talk to myself. There's nothing wrong with it. And I say, I agree. But have you ever been in your car talking to yourself and somebody pulled up in the car next to you and you start acting like you were singing? You sold out. But Carter G. Woodson said, every now and then I must talk to myself because I'm in need of an intelligent conversation. The reason why Inspired to Speak exists because, I never went to college. I was in high school. I thought I had a B one time, but it was really two D's close together. Everything I've learned, I was self-taught by mentorship and by investing in myself to become better. I speak to colleges, I speak to politicians, I speak to corporate boards all over the world. And I don't say that to impress you, to impress upon you that you can do that and even more. That we no longer say, I think outside of the box because we understand that there is no box. Because if you're thinking outside of a box, all you have to do is get on the other side of the box, you're outside. But if there's no box, it's nothing but possibility. And life is meant to expand and to multiply upon itself, to grow, to be fruitful, and to multiply. Your money, you better get your time back, your impact, your emotions, you can multiply. If you're harboring things of anger and resentment, it will multiply. You see, the story says a man or woman was given really good land. We're going to say the land is your mind. You've been given good land. But the fact of the matter is the land doesn't care what you plant. You can plant something that gives life or something that will give death. You can plant poison mushrooms or medicinal mushrooms in the same land. And the land doesn't care what you plant. The land's job is to nourish from the energy of the earth itself, from everything in life. Do you know that we are made as carbon beings of the same things of the elements of the earth? So the first thing is, how do you connect? How do you connect and put yourself in a state? So when you're going to have a conversation with your wife, with your husband, with somebody, with an employee, with your boss, whoever it may be, in front of an audience, whether the audience is 2 people or 20,000 people, you have to set yourself in a state. And if you set yourself in a state, you can tell the future because you're going to write it. You begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey said that in the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. To be a baron in the royal order that started in 312 AD, to be the first African-American baron ever and the first in the United States is a true honor. Because there's nothing special about me. I just wanted to do good work. But one thing I know about each and every one of you, and because the greatest human need is one of significance, that we know our life counts for something, that we impact and we impart something good, even through challenging situations, even through the stuff we've done that we wish we hadn't done, but we can't take it back. Other people can grow from all those lessons if you learn how to communicate. If you learn how to use your voice like the soundtrack of a movie. You know the soundtrack anchors the emotion of the movie? The soundtrack makes you cry, it makes you laugh. The soundtrack makes you afraid and creates drama. And when you hear or see a movie, there's a soundtrack that anchors the scene to create the emotion that the director wants you to experience inside of that movie theater. So when you speak and you tell your story, you learn to take people on a journey within themselves. They can never go on by themselves. You use words like imagine. So right now, if you're looking at this right now, I want you to hold your hand out, look at your hand, and imagine you have a red apple in your hand and see a red apple. And I know you can see that apple because you don't see things in words, you see them in pictures. Now look at that red apple and turn it green. Now turn it yellow. Yeah. See, you can create, and that's how everything is created from what you see that's unseen. So now, when you understand the soundtrack of your voice, that your voice can make an impact, and I'll give you an example. Loud and fast is impact. It jolts the nervous system. Loud and slow is emphasis. It makes a point. Low and fast is for engagement. You can't write fast enough, you don't hear everything, but you know I know, and now I'm making your voice and your brain track, try to keep up where I'm going. And low and slow is for emotion. And when I bring my voice down and speak slowly, even now, your nervous system is calming down. Because when you speak, you are not the star of the show, you are the director. The audience is the star. And when you understand that and understand how soundtracks work, you got this horror film and this sound, the sharks are coming in, dun, 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 or the slasher is right behind the door, and your body comes to tension with that music, and then you know they went into that bathroom, they open up the door, and your body flinches, even if you try to be cool about it, and it's not behind the door. But what would happen if they opened up that door and the slasher was in there? And instead of hearing this music that brings tension, you heard it would change the scene. So how do you use your voice and the tone of your voice? How do you understand the psychology of communication? A person's personality traits. We all have the 4 basic personalities. Sharks are money driven and very aggressive. Sometimes come off abrasive. They're about their money and succeeding and winning. That's what they know. We know people like that. Dolphins like to have a lot of fun. They're the ones who have colors in their hair, big earrings, big jewelry. They always come late. They're the life of the party. They love to have fun, but they're not going to be as organized. Urchins are very analytical. My wife's a double scientist and a physicist. Everything has to be in its place, and there's a place for everything. They forget nothing. If something moves, they know it. They're very analytical. They like facts. They do not like hype. They like things to start on time and get irritated when they're late. And dolphins will always be late. They're somewhat anal, and they dress in conservative colors, where dolphins dress in bright colors, where sharks are dressed in power colors. And then the whales dressed in earth tones. They're nurturers. They don't care about anything as that except for causes. How are we helping people? Are you having fun? Now, we all have all 4 personalities, but when you speak, you learn how to speak so you can touch each one of those. You know, you want to talk to a dolphin? Well, you say something like, how do you eat an elephant? Intelligent people know the answer, 1 bite at a time. The urchins are all going to be there. Okay? Then you say, well, what do you give an elephant with diarrhea? You say, a whole lot of room, and the dolphins chuckle. And everybody else says, boom. And that's called a pattern interruption because the man was given good land, the woman's given good land. I'm going to shake up the land so we can put seeds inside of that ground. They're well nourished. And how do you nourish it? I continue to plug in to Royal Influences, to plug into our Inspire events, to plug into our impact events in Chicago, to plug into our charity events where we pick 9 charities every single year and support them and raise money and give them resources and share resources. Every year we pick 9. We showcase them in our magazines, virtual and live. And we have a TV streaming network. So we train our speakers and our nonprofit organizations, and then we teach them how to create content because a life worth living is worth recording. And now you're streaming and you can see us on limitlesstv.net or on our app or on Roku or Amazon or Apple or Android TV. To take your brand and expand your brand so no matter what you're doing, that you expand your brand, that you're the best in class. What separates you from everyone else? The way you communicate. And you have to have media, social media and media. One without the other, you still have a gap. And we put everything together to show that up and working with Royal Influencers and learning so much in the hearts. But there's so many people out there that are smart, that are giving, but they're hurting financially. And they're not free enough to help more people because your success is someone else's miracle. And if that is true, think about as you become even more successful, can you help more people? Because money only expands who you already are. Can you help more people get to college? Can you help your church or your community? Can you help yourself prepare for retirement in case things happen? Can you go travel and see the world and have an incredible amount of fun? Can you buy the dream car or get the dream? Oh, you want a yacht? They make them for people and your people. Okay, not buy one and rent one. All these things that happen because money solveth all things. In the Bible, it says is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go to heaven. They talked about men a lot in the Bible. But people misunderstand the scripture. I have a degree in divinity. The needle illustrated the doorway to a city that was shaped like a needle. And a camel can get through the needle if the camel bows down. People say, well, money's the root of all evil. It doesn't say that. It says the love of money is all evil. It says that money solveth all things. The man with the talents, the person that multiplied their resources, taught that money how to have babies, was the one that was rewarded. Those who did not, who sat on their laurels, were the ones who were chastised. So we have to understand money and raise our financial IQ for the betterment of everybody. People running amok when eggs went up, but it doesn't matter if you were always excelling, because in life you are to move forward, to expand on yourself, to do that. And the cool thing is, it doesn't matter if you're 88 or 18. It's never too late. You have a story to tell. People need to know your story. They need to know about your life. That life worth living is worth recording. Know where they came from. Because if not, everybody has to start at the same place. Life is like walking up an escalator. If you don't start earning more, you earn less. Because everything went up in 2008. Everything went up in 2022 when the market crashed. Everything's going up now, and it's going to always go up because that's what inflation does. When I was a kid, gasoline wasn't even $1 a gallon, 58 cents. When I was a kid, oh yeah, I'm older. But it's still going to go up, and you're not going to be ready. And what you don't want to do is be caught at 70 years old and then try to figure it out. Let's figure it out now. But if you are 70, let's have some fun with it because we can teach you how to create. So Inspired to Speak, we love to teach people about personality profiles, but learn about yourself and how you communicate internally and how you can touch people that they don't just hear you, but they feel you, that you speak into their listening, but also into their nervous system. They feel it. That they have an experience. And then when they enroll with you and work with you, and even our speakers, we build out everything they ever need to speak and put them on our stages. And if tomorrow, we're going to have 22 people on a TV show. We'll shoot 8 shows tomorrow with 2 or 3 people in each show. How's that for branding? Put that in your social media, and it's going to be streamed as well. Our nonprofits, we're telling your story, and you can raise money. All of our content creators, we teach them how to get paid for their content. You can go on YouTube, but there's nothing wrong with it. But they're worth $3 trillion. Why? Because you give them all the assets for nothing. And they got all the people. But you got some views and some likes. We always go look at that. Nothing wrong with that. But if you have the data, you translate that into money. Because the data is the valuation of your business. So we teach you how to use YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, how to identify your core client who's looking for you anyway, who's looking for you while you're looking for them, while you're looking for them looking, how to create a community of people who want to be with you anyway, and you serve them with everything you have. Never take. There's abundance of everything. There's more than enough for everybody to have more than enough. Take, serve, and give. You'll be rewarded for that. Because the bigger problems you solve, the more people will pay you because it costs them too much not to have that problem solved. I started off speaking. My first gig was $800. Started off in network marketing. Did really well. Made about $20-something million doing that, and didn't want to do it. Never want to do it. I still do it. How do you make over $10 million part time and take 2 years off in 11 years and make that kind of money? It helped me build a tech business. It helped me start a nonprofit. It helped me be able to serve 7 different entities every single year. This year is going to be 9. It opened up doors for me, allowed me to travel the world, allowed me for moving. And before I did any of that, I was sleeping in my car. That's just my story. I'm building mine. I want you to build yours. But I want you to build it, and I want to tell it. Because you get to write the ending of your story, your script. You get to turn the page and say, what's going to be in chapter 8? Because you get to decide. And you can turn it. If it's great, then you came in there great. Then let's leave out of here greater. If it's not as great, let's make it even gooder. and then gooder. And then you have the biggest story because you give hope to others, validations to some, because people are hurting and they feel like they're by themselves, and you are never alone. God said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. I will always be with you. That means I don't take a break. I'm always there to carry you, to access you. If you would be, I would be in you, and you would be in me. If you're willing to do that, stay with the royal influences and the great work they do and the hearts that they have, you're going to win. But there's other pieces. It's a part of an ingredient in baking a cake. And we're going to teach you how to bake that cake or make that pie, the best pie possible. And it won't matter what kitchen you go in, you'll be able to create because you're going to get paid by the value that you bring. And that's really the focal point of everything you do. So I'd like to give you a gift real quick, if you don't mind. If you were to text the word traits, 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 the word traits, and put in 26786. Traits to 26786. Now, if you live in Canada, that may not work. Traits to 26786. So if you live in Canada, then you've got to send us an email and send it to media@jd3media.com. media@jd3media.com. Okay. Or just, trait. There you go. Traits to 26786. You're going to get a personality profile. And I want you to find out what your personality anchors are. And then we'll teach you, if you're ready, to speak into the personalities that you are not. A lot of people say, I know my personality. Not about you. You have to learn how to relate to people who are not like you so you can become more impactful, more effective, more loving, and be more in harmony and collaboration with other people because you can speak their language. Remember, 57% of communication is nonverbal. So it's not about the talking, it's about the listening as well. We have a lot of exciting things coming up in June. In May, we have another virtual event in June in Chicago, Downtown Swiss Hotel. We have our Impact Summit. If you live in Chicago or know somebody here, you invite them out to the Swiss. It's going to be an incredible group of people that are trained. This incredible woman, this Roger Smith, Ramona, will get you the information for that. On the 14th of June, 18 individuals will be knighted by the Prince Raphael, His Royal Highness. He's going to fly in from Spain, and he has a legal authority as a blood relative of Constantine the Great, who was the first ruler of Rome to make Christianity the religion of Rome, and his mother is a saint. Now, you have to be dead 1,500 years. It's like harder to be a saint than it is to be able to go in the Hall of Fame. You have to be gone 1,500 years before you can be considered. So she is actually a saint, if you didn't understand what that means. And we're a part of that royal house. We're building out our own country. We're the oldest active royal house in the world. We're honored to be here, and all we want to do is help good men and women become even better. That is our charge in life, and that's what we love to do. And we love working with the royal influence as well. So I'll close with this. Remember to stand before your dreams, every woman, every man. In times of trials, always believe that you can. And if you fall, know again you will rise. If you feel weak, you focus on your prize. With your faith, keep walking towards your goal. With your faith, keep talking from the depths of your soul. Royal Influence was created for people like you and me. Plug in there with Ramona. I see Bella there. Over time, never give up on your dreams. To turn back as a sin. You got to follow your dreams until you win. I ask God, at my lowest point, just give me one more chance before I die. I promise I'll spread my wings and I'll learn to fly. You got royal influences. Man, they do something every month. They're holding up their end. Stand on the shoulders of greatness. You'll always win. So keep working hard. Keep doing what's right. Keep working their plan until that plan takes flight. It's time for you to show up. It's time for us to keep growing up. And then the world will see there's power in your dreams. They're alive in you and they're alive in me. These are your dreams and your goals that you must defend. And keep following those dreams until you win. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, everybody. Sir Dr. Baron James Dentley in the house, everybody. Text that number, traits. It's the word. Text traits to that number. And there were so many nuggets, boulders, not even nuggets, boulders that you dropped that I know for a fact that people who are here listening, and I see you on YouTube, and I know you're on LinkedIn as well as Facebook, You have freed people today. And let me tell you what I mean by that is some of these nuggets, as spontaneous as you speak, it just flows in and out as you wish. But rock foundation, as you already know, most people say I've hit rock bottom, or everybody knows what rock bottom is. But you said, I don't believe that it's a bottom, it's a foundation where you can build on and build from.
Yeah,
Absolutely love that. Powerful.
You know, if people are raised in the church and everything falls apart in life, they go right back to it.
Yes.
They go right back to their family, to their mom, and then they go back to a lesson or something. Sometimes they go right back to drugs, alcohol, to the foundation.
Right.
And the foundation you build from it. It's not, you don't live in a foundation. The foundation holds up the house. It's not the house.
Exactly.
Okay? You don't live on the floor, but you build up.
Powerful. Powerful. Absolutely. And then I love the way that you reframed as well. And it's not even, you don't even like ceilings because people are limitless and ceilings put a cap on how far you can go. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. And then, and the other thing that you shared was anything that you are harboring will multiply. Anything, whether it be negativity, self-limiting beliefs, self-doubts, fear, whatever it is that you are harboring will multiply. I absolutely love that. That these nuggets, these are just a few of nuggets. I have 2 pages, of course, but just a few of nuggets that people can take, and they should actually write this out, print it out, put it wherever you work every single day to remind them that there are no ceilings and nor are there any bottoms. There's just foundations. Absolutely love it. And then there is anything that actually a life worth living is a life worth recording. So I've seen so many times entrepreneurs go about their life, they're creating and they're giving so much value. They're giving all of their knowledge, their skills, their experience, their expertise, and they aren't recording it. They aren't recording anything that they're creating. And that is powerful. And that's exactly why I'm doing as much recording as I am, because I am this is a part of the legacy that I'm building for my children and my grandchildren.
Yes.
And I love that you shared that you were sharing your age. I'm not far behind you. I'm 57. And you said I'm showing my age right now because you were talking about a couple of things that were back in the day that you didn't think many people could relate to, but definitely loved everything that you shared. I introduced you, by the way, before you came. So before you came on stage, I told everybody about Limitless TV, as well as you're inspired to speak, as well as you being a Baron as well. So definitely keep me posted on all of your upcoming activities, because I will definitely share it with the community as well. So thank you. Thank you. And thank you. I might even pop in because I have a friend in Chicago as well. I might pop into one of your events that's coming up I think it's a summit.
It's June 13th, 14th, 15th on Father's Day. We have a Royal Charity Father's Day dinner dance concert.
Oh, wow. That's my birthday week.
Everybody who attends will get a voucher for a 5-day, 4-night Caribbean cruise. Wow. Only thing they will ever pay would be port fees and taxes, which is a couple $100.
Wow.
And we're going to give that to every person that walks in the door. That's an adult, 18 years.
Oh my goodness, that is phenomenal. So you guys heard it here. And Bella was, oh my goodness, let me give you some of the messages that Bella was telling you. She said, yes, I understand, Sir James Dentley. And she said, go ahead, come on, Sir James Dentley, and educate us as well. And I think it was Elizabeth up here when you asked them to put in the chat that they understand. Elizabeth put in the chat that she understands. So they were blowing up the chat. They were absorbing every word. So thank you for taking time out of your busy day while you're in the middle of training your speakers. Oh my goodness. We are Thank you. Oh my goodness.
You're very much welcome.
All righty. So thank you again. We'll have you at the next one.
Yeah, bless you guys. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
All right, you do the same. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Wow. What a phenomenal segment that was from Sir Dr. James Dentley, Baron James Dentley, as well. Always a pleasure to have him on the platform. And every single one of you need to go and text, even the ones that I see on YouTube. I know that there's some over on LinkedIn as well as Facebook. Definitely text the word traits, TRAITS. Text that word traits to the number 267. I'm going to put it back on the screen right now. There it is, 26786. Text the word traits to 26786. And I don't want anyone that's here that just got blessed by that segment that Sir Dr. Baron James Dentley just shared with us. Every single time that he comes, he drops the mic, and we can always look forward to definitely being expanded once we have heard from him. So thank you, and thank you to Sir Dr. James Dentley, as well as all of the other speakers. Yesterday, Marvin Reed from the UK, the highly awarded business strategist, came and dropped the mic as well, shared a lot of major value. And you guys already know he has a boot camp as well that you guys can reach out to him on the back channel. And we do have a link to his boot camp that we're going to share everybody's offers at the end of the day today as well. We also had a great friend of mine, the regional director that helped me, do great things, win national awards and things of that nature. When I was a regional manager under her, it was an absolute honor and pleasure and privilege, because I still use all of that value that I gained and knowledge that I gained during those 11 and a half years that I worked with that company under her. And we won, I should say, not even just myself, we won. She nominated me for Educator of the Year as well back then in 1993. In 1993, she nominated me for Educator of the Year right after surviving Hurricane Andrew, surviving a Category 5. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida, and that's where I was. And every 90 days, we would fly out to San Francisco, which is where our headquarters were for Supercuts, and we would have these types of training. So what I'm bringing to you right now is live, right, or virtual. But essentially what we did was we did this, but live. And we had phenomenal trainers and coaches that would come through, like Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield changed my life one day in one of these live events. And he stood up on stage and did this exercise that we all had to do. And I will never, ever forget it. It was like a light bulb went off. And when I went back home to my community, oh my God, I started making the necessary changes. I started believing bigger. And what he did, and I wonder if this will work. I wonder if I can do this little exercise, especially right after Sir Baron Dr. James Dentley just gave us this. That was just a plethora of major nuggets, value, and things that everybody can take away. There were so many others. Did you hear the part where he said, have a staff meeting all by yourself? He asked, how many people talk to themselves? And some people, like he said, you pull up at the light and you're in there talking to yourself and you see somebody looking at you and then you start acting as if you're singing. But he said, you need to have a staff meeting all by yourself. Absolutely. Talk to yourself about you, about your business. Do that SWOT analysis. Thank you so much for the fire, Bella. Do that SWOT analysis. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are your threats? As well. Oh, Angela Mall just said good day as well. So thank you so much, Angela Mall, over on YouTube as well. So he also said that he doesn't like ceilings because people or humans are limitless, and ceilings put a limit on how far you can go and grow. And then instead of saying rock bottom, he uses rock foundation, because you can build on a foundation. And you need a solid foundation under anything that you build. So it's always rock foundation, a starting point, in other words. Everything that's sturdy starts with a firm foundation. And when he speaks, is speaking to the 4 different personality types. He used urchin, and he used I believe he used whale as well. And I also have done trainings. In fact, Christina was in a training when I did a training for them as well. And that teaches you how to communicate and who you're communicating with. But every time you speak, you need to know, who is it that I am speaking to? And I believe one of his was the shark also. Shark, urchin, and whale. And then there was one other. However, anytime that you speak, you are speaking to all 4 of those people. And that way, you're not just really limiting yourself to how far or how much of an impact that you're making. You're not only wanting to impact those people who like to have fun, but you want to impact the analytical people as well. The people who are very analytical and they want all of the details and all of the pieces. And they're very observant and things of that nature. So that's also a training that I'm getting ready to do and put in a recording inside of my LMS system with Joel Hill, which is another speaker from yesterday. He has the AI workstation. And he has over 60 AI tools for only $19.99, $95, I think it is. So do not forget to reach out to him, connect with him, and ask how to get involved. And you can also create, what I created was Ramona bot. I have a Ramona bot. Ask Ramona anything. It's a bot that has been trained for anybody who wants information about what I do and how they can connect with me and how they can build and grow. I have an actual bot, Ramona. It's the Ramona bot, Ramona AI bot, that people can ask any questions about business or anything else. So all of this value and information that you're getting here will be fed into that bot, so that anytime that I'm actually sharing, of course, and that anytime anybody asks a question, I've already gone through it and given it all of my business information anyway. But that was the big idea generator, by the way. That's something that Joel Hill talked about as well. The big business generator idea, the big generative idea, I think is what it's called. And Christina can help me because she actually attends all of these trainings. They have 2 trainings a week. And guess what? When you log in and you chime in and connect and you get your AI workstation, you have trainings for free. They're called Lunch and Learns, and they're twice a week. I think it's 3 a week now. But you can actually show up and they will help you, walk you through the process of how to use all of these apps, AI apps, and how to build whatever it is that you want to build. Whether you want to learn how to actually run ads, there's one that we actually toyed around with and tested, and it's an ad generator, AI ad generator, and it got bigger reach than anything that we've ever created. It got like 600 views in just a day, the very next day after we created it. And when we create our own things, we might hit 200, 250, 270. That's our typical range. But this one hit triple that because it's AI generated. So with that said, I definitely just wanted to highlight Joel and Carolyn Morgan Bell. Thank you for coming and sharing your story. I know that there are so many people that resonated with you. There are so many people out there that also heard your story of losing your husband, for one, all within 2 years, and then ending up just a year later, at 6 months after you built your business that was thriving and growing, that you ended up having a health scare and having to have spinal fusion surgery, waking up one day and not able to use her legs properly, and ended up going straight into surgery. And then now here she is, not even a year later, even though the doctor said you wouldn't be able to walk normally for 18 months, a year later, she's back at work. Even though in the beginning she was a little limited, but she was still doing it. I told her, get back in there. The quicker you can get back in there, the better it's going to be, the easier you're going to heal. And she did it. And now here she is being featured in Lifestyle Magazine. What an inspiration. And that's exactly how she empowered and inspired me when I was a regional manager under her leadership and her guidance back years ago. And then, excuse me. And then we also heard from Valerie Stone, who talked to us about mental wealth. Oh my goodness. And her story of coming out of foster care, being a foster child, and then just being confused and lost and having overwhelm and living through trauma and things of that nature. And now here she is flourishing and thriving as well, and helping other people by being a guardian ad litem as well. And helping people also with financial literacy and showing them how their emotions are directly tied to their financial literacy and money, and how they look and see and use money as well. And that was a powerful segment as well. Wow. And then we heard from Stars. Tina came and dropped the mic with her energy as well. And you can look her up anywhere at I am Stars Tina. I am Stars Tina. That's on all social media sites. Reach out to her because she also shared with us that she has a $97 21-day challenge of everybody getting in shape and getting exercise in. And I think it starts in May, I want to say. So I am challenging every single woman that's under the sound of my voice, from Bella to Carolyn to Christina to Elizabeth to Tracy to Angela, excuse me, and all of the others. I see you still watching on YouTube as well. And those others are on Facebook and on LinkedIn. I am challenging all of you to join with me. I am definitely going to support her business for one. And look at the title of the event. It's excuse me, it's the Wealth, Health, and Thrive. And that is exactly what I think every single one of us should be focusing on. How are we building more wealth? And wealth is a vibe. it's a mindset, right? It's how you view and see money. So you might just have a money block if you're struggling building your business and making sales and things of that. You might just have a money block. And I think James Dentley also talked about this as well when he talked about making sure that you don't, excuse me, making sure, I didn't bring my water back, kind of losing my voice today, but making sure that you forgive people, because unforgiveness is a block to you being successful, a block to you making more money. Don't carry around and harbor. Keep in mind, he also pointed out that anything that you harbor is going to multiply. Resentment, fear, jealousy, unforgiveness. Those are all low vibrations, by the way. And guess where your goals are sitting? If you're struggling building business and if you're struggling getting sales, guess why? Because all of those different things that I just shared with you, the feelings that I just shared with you, jealousy, overwhelm, fear, resentment, unforgiveness, those are all lower vibrations. When you're living and walking in those feelings, you are vibrating lower. But guess where your goals are? Your goals are vibrating higher. Your goals are up here and you're vibrating down here. So there's a gap, just like Dr. James Dentley shared. There is a gap. You are creating the gap. And like he also mentioned, you can create whatever you want. Do you guys see how powerful your mind is when he said, hold your hand out and picture you holding a red apple? Can you not see it? Do it again. Can you not see the red apple? Then he said, now turn it green. And you can clearly see a green apple. And then he said, now turn it yellow. And guess what? That is precisely how you create the life that you deserve and that you dream of. You have to see it in your mind first before you can actually hold it in your hand and live in it. And that was so powerful of an analogy that I wanted to make sure that I circled back and reminded everybody of that again. That is exactly how you create. Human beings are creative beings. That's what we do. We create, right? And that's something that I wanted you to definitely remember as well. So definitely text that number, and Christina can put the number back up. Definitely text that number as well. And I wanted to just remind you guys that a life worth living is a life worth recording. Record everything that you are doing. Every live that I've done on IG and on Facebook, my kids and my grandkids and their kids will be able to now see all of this and have all of these trainings and everything, our passions and our loves and everything that we are doing, we should be recording. So that we are recording, leaving that as a part of our legacy for our children and our families as well. And you don't see things, by the way, this is another point, a great takeaway. You don't see things in words. We see things in pictures. And that was the picture of the apple. So I want everyone to close your eyes wherever you are. Make sure that you have a little space behind you also. Make sure that there's no wall that you can touch. If you hold your hands out and turn them around, I want you to do it safely. And you can stand up, but I want you to stand up. I'm getting ready to share this process that Jack Canfield did with me, or all of us, the whole company. It was one of our big corporate events, and he did this exercise with us. And I want you to do it now. And then we're going to close out. I want everybody to stand up. Everybody under the sound of my voice, stand up. And make sure that you have space. No chair in the way. You're not going to walk around or move around any. You're going to turn or twist from the waist, but you're not going to be walking. So no worries. Don't trip over anything, and don't make sure that you're not walking. Plant your feet firmly. Stand up where you are. Plant your feet firmly. And I want you to remember whose you are and who you are. Remember, your eyes should be closed. I want you to remember who you are and whose you are. Anything that you want and that you desire, you can have. It is yours. And I want you to picture yourself with everything that you want. If you had a choice to have anything that you want right now, while your eyes are still closed, picture it. Picture yourself with it. How will you dress? If it's a new house, what color is it going to be? What area or community is it going to be in? When you walk in your front door, what color are the walls? Is it tile, ceramic tile? Is it marble on the floor? Is it wood floors? What kind of flooring? What is it going to smell like when you bake your favorite cake or your favorite pie or cookies or whatever it is? Or when you cook your favorite meal, what kind of aromas and smells are in the air? You were born with it, as a matter of fact. You were born with everything. Not some things, not a few things. You were born with absolutely everything that you need to be successful and to have everything that you want. Just like Sir Dr. Baron James Dentley just shared with us, that there are no limits. There is no ceiling. So imagine that their ceilings are gone. The barriers that you have created are gone. They are falling away. There's a barrier. I walk in fear. I'm so afraid. Imagine the barrier of fear falling away. I am so stuck or stagnant. And as you just heard Sir Dr. James Dentley do, he reframes it. You're not stuck. You're not stagnant. Now say to yourself, I'm limitless. And you can say it out loud. Nobody will hear you. I am limitless. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am perfectly capable. I have everything that I need. And say it again. I am limitless. I am powerful. I am perfectly capable. I have everything that I need. And now what I want you to do with your eyes still closed is I want you to put one arm straight ahead, right in front of you. Just raise your arm, one arm right up and have it right in front of you. And then with your eyes still closed, I want you to turn slowly to the right, turn slowly to the right, turn slowly to the right, bend at the waist. Everybody should be bending at the waist at this point. And then I want you to go as far as you can. Go as far as you can until you're almost straining to turn, right? You can't turn anymore. Your eyes should still be closed. You can't turn anymore. Hold that spot right there for a second. I'm going to count to 3. I want you to hold that spot to 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't open your eyes. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move or open your eyes. Now turn your head and look at the spot and mark that spot on the wall. Mark where your hand ended or stopped. And you're going to mark a spot on the wall and just stare at that spot for about 5 seconds. Just stare at the spot so that you won't forget it. Stare at the spot. Stare at the spot. Stare at the spot. Stare at the spot. You're turning at the waist. You can open your eyes now and you should be staring at the spot. You have turned as far as you can go. As far as you can go. Stare at the spot. Now I want you to slowly turn back around. Take that arm. Your arm should still be up. And then I want you to lower your arm back in the same position that it was in before you raised it. Now I want you to close your eyes. Again, close your eyes. And I want you to picture yourself successful. I want you to picture you with exactly what it is that you have. I want you to say those affirmations that we were saying earlier. I am powerful. I am capable. I have everything that I need. And as Sir Dr. James Dentley said, God will never forsake you. He's been there with you all along. And you're waiting on God, but God's waiting on you. And I want you to now say those affirmations, picture whatever it is that you want, whatever it is, the home, the car, the business. How much do you want to make in that business? Whatever it is that you want, you can have. It is yours. And I want you to now sit for a second and feel it. I want you to feel what it would feel like to have it. Really tune into your emotions. How would you feel if you had everything that you needed and everything that you wanted? How would it feel? How would you feel healed completely? Where do you see your business at the height of success? How would you dress? Where would you shop? Where would you eat? Where would you travel to? What would you drive? What concerts or events would you be able to attend? And see yourself there. See yourself in the room. See yourself in the vehicle. What would the new vehicle smell like? And now, with your eyes still closed, I want you to raise your hand again, right in front of you, just like you did before, straight out, with your eyes still closed. Keep your eyes closed, and I want you to do the exact same thing. But now, this time, you're going to picture yourself, picture your hand 6 inches further. Even though you twist it around as far as you can go, now I want you to picture it Remember, we see in pictures, not in words. Picture your hand before you turn around. Picture your hand 6 inches further. And now put your hand up with your eyes closed, turn around, and you're picturing the entire time. You have that picture of the spot. That's why you stared at it. You knew how far you can go before, and you're going to turn all the way around. And now you're going to picture, your eyes are still closed. You're going to picture your arm 6 inches further than where you stopped before. And now I want you guys who participated in that exercise to tell me, where did your hand end? Who did the exercise that can tell me where their hand ended on the second time that they turned around and pictured their hand 6 inches further? Bella, did you do it? That's good, Queen Ramona. Awesome, awesome. In front of, okay, awesome, Christina. And if you did this exercise and you truly believed in what you said, because that's the key also, you have to truly believe what you said and what you're thinking. And it's no different from how you believe yourself. That's how fear is created, because you're telling yourself you're scared, right? And anything that we harbor is going to multiply. That's how fear is built. That's why little babies are fearless. They can fall 20 times and still get up and keep trying. And somewhere along the way, life, our environment, the people who raised us, passed their fears on to us as well. Oh no, don't touch that. Don't climb that tree. Don't go outside after dark. All of those things that we do know in reality are valid ways to keep us safe. But no, we can still climb the tree, but safely. To experience it, right? That's what I believe. Michael Jackson said he used to climb trees, and that's where he created all of these wonderful songs that everybody fell in love with. I had a tree house years ago, and we climbed the tree every day because we had a tree house in the tree in our backyard in Miami. And that's what I did every day. So there are safe ways to do things to still protect yourself and still experience those things, so that we aren't fearful, but we become fearless. So with that said, test yourself and test that exercise. It's very simple, it's very safe, but it takes your belief to a new level. So with that said, thank you, thank you, and thank you. And Christina, did you have that song? And I see you guys still on YouTube, as well as LinkedIn, as well as on Facebook. And we want to thank each and every one of you. So text that word traits to 26786. I'm going to put that back on the screen as well. And then Bella, you can reach her at Bella Unplugged. Bella Unplugged. She is on Facebook. She is on IG, as well as you can also see her on stages inside of Breakfast with Champions as well. And that is a huge community that started in the pandemic when Clubhouse first opened, and it has thousands and thousands of members, and they bring in elite speakers, elite entrepreneurs, elite business owners. They bring them all to that platform to pour into the community every single day, starting at 4 a.m., which is where Marvin Reed actually is the one that's been hosting that room. And I spent a whole year and a half going to that room every single day religiously. I brought Carolyn Bell to that room. I brought Christina Baca to that room. And I always referred people to that room as well. And that is where Royal Influencers organization was born. Marvin always inspired us to think bigger, to create something that we are passionate about and that we love. And that is where Royal Influencers organization was born. It was because of being in that room and listening to him and all of his business expertise and knowledge and skill that I gained all of the empowerment that I needed, the inspiration that I needed, the motivation that I needed to build the Royal Influencers organization. So with that said, thank you, and thank you to each and every one of you that took time out of your busy schedule and busy day to come to the Royal Influencers Organization Wealth, Health, and Thrive virtual experience. And I hope that you guys had a great experience for these last couple of days. I hope that you gained a lot of knowledge, and I hope that you have a lot of takeaways that you are going to now Go back. I'm going to challenge you guys. Don't just sit here and listen. Take notes, bring paper and pen, and not only take the notes, but also take the action. Faith-filled action. So with that said, Christina, if you have the song, I would love for you to go ahead and play that song, Worthy, right now. So if you guys listen in, we are going to be taking out.
No matter how far I go, you'll never turn your back. Oh, you're so faithful. I can't even count the times, no. You came and rescued my soul. God, you're able. Your love stopped me right in my tracks, and no one ever want to go back. Yeah. Feel my heart beating right in my chest. Now every part of me just has to confess, oh God, you are worthy, 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 you are. Every bone in my body knows that you are worthy, 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 you are. Yeah. The author of every story, I know that you are for me. You're so faithful. Yeah, yeah. When the sun rises every morning, I want to give you glory. I'm so grateful. I know you're someone I could trust, yeah. You love me like nobody does, yeah. I know I can't say it enough, yeah. I feel a praise here rising up. Oh, worthy, 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 you are. Every bone in my body knows that you are worthy, 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 you are. Yeah. And it took some time to see it. It took some time to see it. Now with every breath I'm breathing, oh, I'll sing that you are worthy, 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 you are.
Thank you, Christina. Wow, wow, wow. What a phenomenal 2 days we have had. And I hope that you guys got a lot of major value, because that's exactly the point of having these phenomenal events. And I just appreciate each and every one of the speakers that we had. We had Brandon Thompson of Back at Zero. Go to backatzero.org so that you can hear his story, you can read his story, and you will see the impact that he is making. I am definitely a part of it. Carolyn Bell is a part of it as well. Bella has been invited, as well as Megan DiMartino has been invited. Christina Baca has been a part of it as well. And she has had her first successful trade as well. And I am definitely looking forward to all of you. My children also trade. I taught them that in the pandemic as well. And I highly encourage them still to stay with it. So with that said, I want to make sure that they knew that they can create. They have the power to create economy. Don't have to ever worry about what's going on in the actual economy. So when the economy tanks, when our actual economy tanks, or when there's another pandemic, and it's not a matter of if, but when it will be another pandemic, you already heard measles they're looking for measles to now blow up again. And there's already a kid that passed away in Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is having a measles epidemic and outbreak right now. So whenever there is another pandemic or another recession, then they won't have to ever worry about anything. And I think we all should be looking to create 7 streams of income, not just our business, but another. and not just another stream of income, but a few others that won't necessarily take a lot of excessive time or anything, but anything that you learn, you have to put in the effort and the time and the energy in it, right? And the only difference, I'm going to leave you guys with this. The only difference between here, where you are today, and there, where you want to be, is the T. Here, H-E-R-E, and there, where you want to be, is the T for time. That's the only difference between where you are now and where you want to be. So how are you using your time? Are you using it wisely, or are you putting yourself in proximity and into the environment, the proper environment that's going to help you foster the growth that you want to create? Are you going to put yourself in the right environment that's going to give you the growth mindset instead of the defeated mindset? And are you also surrounding yourself by people in your circle? And keep that in mind. I mentioned this yesterday. Sometimes there's people inside of your circle that aren't really in your corner. So you also want to do an assessment of that and those people as well. And guess what? The people that are in your circle are smiling, and so are the people that are not in your corner. They're smiling as well. So how do you determine the difference? Ask yourself, are they speaking life? Am I expanding? Am I growing? And even if I'm having a little bit of a struggle or hard time and I share it with them, what do they say? How do they respond? Do they respond with encouragement, or do they respond with discouragement? Do they discourage me from doing the things that I love to do? Or are they speaking life and telling me how I can accomplish my dreams, my goals, and that I am worthy? And you just heard the song. You are worthy. So I definitely just wanted to leave you with that little message. And is there anything else that anybody else wants to share? Do you have a question about any of the speakers and how to contact them or anything of that nature? Feel free to ask inside of the chat wherever you are, because I have all three chats right here. And I want to make sure that everybody texts that number. Traits, the word traits, T-R-A-I-T-S. Traits. There you go, to 26786. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, and thank you, guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye, guys.